I don't know. Okay, I have us live. And then we'll just add Tripp in.
Okay.
When Tripp's ready. So, hello, Facebooks. Welcome to. That's a horrible Russian accent. Hello, Facebooks. Welcome to the Talk Show Tuesday. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Is that French?
No, it's like a really bad Russian accent.
Just channel your inner Big Red.
Listen,
or
if I
Red
was
from Orange is the New Black.
Oh, see, I haven't watched Orange is the New Black in a minute. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to share this and it's not going so well.
How? What do you have to do?
Okay, so just go to my Facebook and then you'll see it. And then, like when you just click share under the video. I'm just trying to share it to my drag page and it's not going so hot because like Facebook's being stupid.
Okay, let me see. Oh, no, I don't want that. How can people do this?
What?
How can people operate with nails? I have to use my knuckles.
I don't know. Do you want me to just like share it and tag you in it? We have 4 people watching though. Oh no, you went black. I think it's probably because you were sharing it, so okay. Oh, I'm just not going yet. Okay. Let's see if Trip's ready now. Okay, so sorry about all the kinks and the quapples and stuff. So welcome to Talk Show Tuesday. I don't know how to. Okay. There's like 4 people watching, but okay, yeah, I'm just gonna say screw it and look for my phone. So, welcome to Talk Show Tuesday. Da Ji is off for a moment to share. Tripp Clutch will be joining us in a little bit here. And we're just gonna talk about shit and current events and things that are going on. And yes, I realize I'm wearing a Christmas outfit. I'm doing this backwards. Christmas outfit. I give no fucks. It looks cute. And my makeup looks like shit, but I'm actually kind of proud of it because I'm not used to this stuff. So, or at least this style of makeup. So, oh, you're back. Okay. So, and Tripp, give me a thumbs up when you're ready because I can see you. So, and I know you can hear me, but we can't hear you right now. So give us a thumbs up when you're ready, Tripp. But, okay, Tripp is ready to join us. So let's introduce each other. I mean, I already kind of, oh, there goes again. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so let's introduce each other, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Scarlett, obviously, the hoe on the go, bitch always on the corner. Next is, we'll start in the middle and go to the edges. Oh, we can't hear you. Okay, hold on. Okay, try talking again. No, did you mute your mic on your end? Okay, try going out and coming back. Okay, so Tripp, we'll have you introduce yourself while we figure out these testicle difficulties.
I'm Tripp. I'm Scarlett's hoe brother.
Yeah, we're hoes.
Yeah.
All right. Hello.
What was that noise?
Okay, let me remove and add. Try unplugging your headphones. That was my phone.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. I heard something.
It's very quiet.
Uh-oh.
Try removing your headphones. It might be your mic. Oh, this is going so well.
This happened to us last time, but it was all you.
Yeah, no, okay, so what happened the last time we did something like this is my phone kept fucking glitching out. Or, well, no, it wasn't even my phone, it was my laptop. It kept glitching out, like I wasn't able to like do jack shit. I think it might be her mic. Unplug your headphones. It might be your mic.
I mean,
Unplug the headphones. Like, unplug it. Are they unplugged?
no.
Okay. Okay, okay. Do you see a little thing on the bottom that says mute?
Can she hear us?
Can you hear us? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Oh, they're unplugged.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so at the bottom of the screen, there's on my screen, there's a little thing that says mute. Like, hold on, let me share the screen.
Here, hang on.
Okay.
I unplugged mine. I don't think that's it.
Okay. So like, okay, so you see down here where it says mute? See, like, do you see that?
I heard something.
Like, I hear something too, but like,
I heard the exasperated sigh.
yeah. You might want to try shutting it off and turning it back on and rejoining through the link. It might work that way. Why is it when you joined us, Tripp, that her mic went
I know,
silent?
right?
Like,
I don't know. It's just me, I guess.
testicular difficulties. Mm-hmm.
If it works this time, I hope it does. Because knowing my luck.
Yeah. Hi, Kaylee. Yeah, this thing is being stupid about showing us comments again, but we're still gonna see your comments. We just
How are you seeing the comments?
I have
Oh, right. Yeah, phone.
I mean, I'm not gonna obviously watch it so that way it's like not annoying me with like the delay, but okay,
Yeah.
let's re-add her back. She back.
I'm going to let you do that.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yay!
we can hear you. Yes. Oh god. About damn time, right?
I don't know what that was. It started when I tried to share it to Facebook. That was when it all started.
It might have been because you left or something. I don't know. It's being stupid.
I don't know.
Okay. Now if my phone could stop being stupid, that'd be lovely. Because my phone's gonna die. Like, I've been having issues charging my phone. Okay, so this is Talk Show Tuesday, where we're gonna just sit and talk about shit, just like a bunch of girls. Okay. Yeah, Amy, it was a technical difficulty.
It's my fault. I literally joined in, then everything stopped working.
Yeah, shit hit the fan when Tripp joined in because it's too sexy. But listen, that's awkward because you're dating my daughter, so.
Yeah, I was telling. Yeah, I was explaining that earlier. That was a lot.
I'm your step drag mama, or no, not step. Drag mama-in-law, but I'm also your drag. This is weird.
Yeah, to quote Porcelain, if you can't keep it in your pants, keep it in the family.
Right? Oh God. I mean, she's not wrong. Unless it's biological, then that's fucked up.
So considering my drag wife is Felicity, which is Porcelain's sister.
Yeah. Oh no, where'd she go?
I'm right here.
Okay.
The camera just off. We were like, oh God.
Okay. All right. So let's start off by talking. Well, we're gonna just talk about shit. And for all those who are watching, there's like 7 y'all. So we're gonna start off by talking about the obvious elephant in the room, as Cardi B says, coronavirus. So yeah, what do you guys think about quarantine so far? Or have you been quarantined? Because I have not. I mean, I've been trying to quarantine, but I really haven't been able to because I still work.
I'm an essential worker.
Essential employee, because fast food's essential.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, you're silent again.
it got really warped. It's me, I swear.
Yep, it's the Facebook. It's the Facebook. She tried to go on Facebook. That's the problem. Every time she goes on Facebook.
Okay, I'm like trying to.
I'm gonna wait till she comes back to like just. Okay, so basically, what I think we're gonna have to do is I'll just have the comments up on my phone.
Yeah, I
and then
have them up on my phone too. So.
stuff, and like I'll share it and tag y'all bitches in it because.
Yeah, I've got it up on my phone too because I'm using my laptop. That's gonna get real meta when it catches up.
Right.
So I know I was.
Whoa! What?
What happened?
Okay, so Kaylee just said that Candy Wansome died.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to actually check up on this. Oh, let me re-add her. Okay, so what I think we're gonna have to do is I'll just read any comments from Facebook, and that way we don't have to worry about it like gone, and I'll just share it and tag you guys in it because
We can watch it later.
yeah. Well, that, and also it'll be on your pages, so that way you're not like. Okay, so first we'll start off by talking about coronavirus, and while I look up that other thing so we can address it. But no, okay, so like, Da Ji, are you an essential employee or non-essential? Oh no! You're silent still.
It said she said essential.
I mean, yeah, because we can lip read. What is going on with your like? Are you using an Android or iPhone?
She's got
iPhone? Are you on Safari? Okay, why is it being so
I'm
fucking? Okay,
Chrome, but I'm on my laptop.
okay. Try talking now. Nothing.
Mm.
Why is it muting on your end?
Do you want me to leave and see if that works?
We're gonna have to restart again. Oh no. Okay, so I'm gonna look into this while we'll just, I don't know.
We can
I feel bad because
restart.
like
I don't know. I think you can do multiple people on a Facebook Live though. That's not like this.
no, like it wouldn't let me do it. I tried, remember?
Yeah, I did it before. Hang on, let me not. I don't want to jinx anything. Can you? No, that live video. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, I don't know. Should we try the other app?
Okay. We can hear you now, I think. Try talking. Yeah, you're just kind of quiet, but we can hear you.
You can hear?
We'll take a.
Okay, yeah, we can hear
Yep.
you fine.
Okay, I'm not even gonna fuck with Facebook. I'm not gonna mess with Facebook. Not even gonna try that. I'm just gonna stay on this little website. I just I can't read anyone's comments, so
We'll read them to you.
okay.
Yeah.
Say
Yes, I am an essential worker. I work with the disabled, and I work residential right now.
Okay, so wait, what do you mean by residential? Like a
like with the previous position, I worked in a adult day service facility.
Okay.
Not a facility, but a situation. And then I can't see. I work in a house right now where some of the clients live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a quick backtrack here. to something that we were brought up on the comment section. So I have not seen. Okay, so I have not seen anything. Why are?
Oh,
Okay.
it's probably Scarlett's phone.
Yeah, it's my phone. Okay, so so backtrack. So Kaylee informed us that Candy Wansum, who is Ben Hippensteel, has passed away apparently. I have looked it up on Facebook. I have not seen anything from his pages at all. From the 4th on. I did see a couple posts from people that are friends with him on Facebook. I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook that have tagged him, but there's no confirmation, no obituary. But if it did happen, it was within the last 24 hours, so not much would be out yet. But if Candy did pass away, that is very, very sad. Candy Wansum was actually one of the people that performed at Finley Pride this past year and did the story time for the kids at Finley Pride. So if she did pass away, we do send our condolences to that family. And she will be missed because she was a beautiful queen. Like you guys probably don't know her, but she was amazingly beautiful. So it's just kind of sad hearing about something that in the community like that. But back to what we were talking about. Like, okay, so like, how have you guys been treated? We'll start off with you guys on this. How have you guys been treated during the process of this quarantine and pandemic and all of this in your job? Because I got some tea on my end, but like I'm just gonna go. It's empty, but okay. So how have you guys been treated?
I mean, like
different.
My hours have been cut, but it's not that bad.
I'm so mad at you bitches right now. Because I've been treated like shit by people. Like, okay, so like, no, my coworkers and stuff have been good. Like, clearly, obviously, some of them have had stress because of everything going on, and like, we have to wear. Well, some of us are wearing face masks, but we're about to be having to wear face masks, which are where I have to wear it. The health issues, but it's a pain in the ass. But like. And it's been like, especially yesterday, we were super busy. It's 420, and people got the fucking munchies. But in my experience, like you guys got off easy because people, like especially yesterday, people were rude as fuck. Like people have been extra as fuck in drive-throughs, and it's one of my thoughts on it are if you can't treat the people that are feeding you with respect, and you're not an essential employee, take your non-essential ass home. You're not supposed to be out in the first place because like they've been treating some of the, like I watched my manager get cussed out yesterday because this dude wanted a fistful of pickles and he didn't realize that extra pickles means just like twice the amount that we normally put on it, which is only like 2 pickles. So he got like 4 pickles on there and he was mad because he didn't get like a shit ton of pickles. It's like, dude, the fuck? Like, and this isn't the first time he's done shit like this. And it's like, dude, just stay the fuck home. Like, you're not essential. Like, you're not supposed to be out. Stay at home order, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Buy pickles at the store and put them on at home.
Right? Go to Dollar Tree. Yeah, they got pickles for $1. Decent sized jar of pickles for like $1.
I'm so sorry. It's so hard to see. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You're good. You're good. I really should have grabbed my glasses, but
I put in contacts because I was like,
big for glasses.
Yeah. But yeah, so like that's my thoughts on it because like I guess people like all over where I'm at have been treating people like shit in the drive-thru, and it's like, bruh, like I get you're stressed. I get you want your food how you want it, but understand that we're under a lot of stress, especially if we're busy. Mistakes are gonna happen, and not nice is not gonna get you anywhere. And especially in a situation like this where some of us are legitimately risking our lives for work.
Yeah,
it's like. Just stay the fuck home. We don't want to see you. If you're gonna be a dick, stay the fuck home. Like I will gladly go the fuck home. Like I won't do that because I don't want to like lose my job in the middle of a pandemic. But like, go the fuck home.
But that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna be disrespectful, or even thinking about being disrespectful, don't even go out. Like, stay at home, eat your food. You know, these people, which they are fucking heroes. You know, these essential workers. Did you know Lowe's is considered essential because they sell refrigerators. That's bullshit. That was just a little side note.
Well, a lot of construction places are too, because it essentially, like, if something breaks down in your house, you have to have access to that stuff. And, you know,
it's just ridiculous. Like, if you are going to go out into the public during this pandemic, have enough respect for the people that are serving you. It is regardless, like, have enough respect for people that are serving you. But, like, especially during this, when they are literally risking their lives so you can get a fucking meal, it's just completely ridiculous.
Yeah, and like, and my thing is like, I saw this meme going around Facebook, and it wholly sums up my thoughts on this, and it's
Deidre just made the best point.
I know, but we'll just end just a second. But no, so like my thoughts on it, like, there's a meme that's been going around that summed up, and it was basically you know, the two things that we've learned about this pandemic is that something about non-essential employees, and that people who are considered essential don't get paid enough.
Right.
You know, because all these people talk shit about fast food workers and shit like that. But when push comes to shove, who the fuck is essential and who's not? And a lot of people are not getting hazard pay for this. Yeah. And they're literally risking their lives. Some of them are.
Right. I mean, like the two asthmatics.
Time off. It's not like they can afford to take the time off. And there's that like sick leave bill thingy, but people that actually are at high risk, some of them, like, doctors aren't giving them those notes, and the sick leave is only for 2 weeks, and this is going to last like till they create a vaccine, so that's like up to next year.
Right.
And it's like, and
people in this country aren't taking it serious enough to actually stay home. Like, my fiance was driving back from from work to home one day, and he saw someone having a cookout, and there was at least 12 people there. Like, I don't understand what don't you understand about this? Like, we are the most infected country right now. We have I don't remember how many. It was like 825,000 in confirmed cases in the United States as of today. What don't you guys understand about the severity of this? People are like, it's just the flu. You know, the flu has killed this many people last year and this many people the year before. We've already, like, this virus has already killed half of that in 3-4 months, let alone 12 months. Like,
and the reason we're the most infected country is because a lot of those countries that were the most infected had a lot of people die.
Right.
And the thing is,
they listened to their lockdown.
And
yes,
this is
getting their shit together.
Yeah, and like they listen to their lockdown. Like Italy literally had people, like, they had trucks going around, like military trucks going around, and basically doing like the Renaissance play, like bring out your dead. And they were legitimately, like, most of them were following their isolation and quarantine orders to the point where, like, only one person was going in a store at a time, and they had somebody following them, sanitizing everything.
Yeah.
Only one person was allowed. But yeah, we're allowed to have like 1,000 people. And here's the thing, like, our peak wasn't supposed to be towards the end of this month, and they want to reopen during the end of our peak.
I had to go to Walmart for groceries like 3 days ago, and it has a sign on the front door that says no more than 1,091 or something in the store. There's not even that many people in the store at one time anyways, so you are doing absolutely nothing.
Well, let's address these comments real quick, and then I actually have something to say about that, because I got something to add to that. But okay, so what Deidre said was, why risk pissing off someone who is touching your food? And that's a very valid point. But here's the thing. Whoever the fucker is that created the statement that said the customer's always right, that's why people risk pissing off their food, because they assume that they're always right when they're really not. Like,
no, the customer's almost never right. Karen,
watch
your hair is.
Leaders. Like, and then I don't know who David is, but she said, "Tell David she's beautiful."
She's meant to say,
"You, Da Ji." And then Mark said, "USA said, hold my beer." Yes, your daddy said, "Hold my beer." So that's actually really what's going on here. It's hold my beer. But okay, so like, to add to your point on the whole 1,000 people, like, and here's the thing, most of those people in those stores, there's a lot of people in stores, I've legitimately went to Walmart to get like medications and just some small supplies, not even a lot. And I've gotten trapped in aisles with groups of like 5 to 10 people on each end, and I was like terrified. Oh, yeah. And like I'm wearing gloves and a face mask and everything, and I'm like terrified because I'm literally blocked in by groups that are larger than are supposed to be together at all.
Right.
In these stores that supposedly are okay to have 1,090 whatever. And then also I had a little bit of a scare because I walked up and thankfully I was far enough away. But this dude literally walked around the corner and started coughing. Just not covering his mouth, nothing. Just started coughing in the middle of the store. And I'm like, and he looked at me, he looked at me and his mouth dropped. He's like, and then turned around, walked away. I was like, you fucking, what the fuck? Like, common courtesy, motherfuckers.
Oh my god.
And then, Kaylee said something about she got in a big fight at work, but no, so like that's the thing. And then like here's the thing about it too. Like I'm like trying to be safe and everything, but like people are not following these social guidelines and stuff, and it's like, and like they want to reopen the states, and like for some states it's just, and like all these fucking protesters, okay, so like Governor Ryan said he has respect for protesters, and while I do have respect for their right to do that, not if it endangers other people or themselves.
Right.
That's where that right, where the right of freedom of speech and the right of assembly and all that, that's where that is no longer allowed. That's where that's not okay. And that's a clause in the Constitution where if you are putting other people at risk, health-wise, you are not allowed to do that shit. So all these protesters are literally breaking the law.
I have an issue with these protesters because there were numerous, not just one person having this thought. There were numerous people holding up signs that said, I need a haircut. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Feel like everybody else and do it at home.
Right? Do what I do. Learn how to cut your own fucking hair. Like, yeah, every once in a while I'll go to a stylist. If you ever get a chance to go out to Bowling Green Gallery Salon and Spa, Colin is amazing. I love him. And every chance that I can afford it and get to go out there, I do have him do my hair. He's amazing at it. However, bitch can't afford it, or a bitch is stuck in quarantine, or a pandemic's going on. Bitch, I'm cutting my own fucking hair.
My stylist said she won't risk her license for house calls, which I completely understand. So I have
Colin won't risk his health, like, and I don't blame him. But like, did you hear about that barber in Louisiana?
No.
So this barber was ignoring the guidelines and everything, and ignoring the shutdown, and went to do house calls, and he caught coronavirus and died. Doing house calls. But not only did he get that from one of his clients, but he also put all the rest of his clients at risk, whose homes he went into. So that's like a shit ton of people that like,
people are not taking it serious enough here.
No, and they should.
And the Trump egging them on is the worst fucking thing that could happen. And he's like, well, I'm not inciting violence. And it's like, yes, you fucking are. You told them to protest. After they're protesting, and none of those fuckers are standing 6 feet away from each other. Guarantee you 1 or 2 of them are sick and spread it to a bunch of other people. Like after one of the such protests, like they had a spike and had the highest number of cases in their state to this point, had the highest number of cases in their state because of a protest. And yet you're still telling people to go and protest. Like the fuck?
No.
I had someone when I was at Walmart the other day. I was waiting in self-checkout, and that line is fucking huge because everyone's getting their stimulus checks, so they're buying shit, so the lines are going to be long and things are going to be busy. But I had someone standing behind me, and he was so close, I could feel the body heat. Like,
that's bullshit.
6 feet back or 6 feet under. Like, take your pick.
Right. But you also know what some guy's version of 6 feet is.
Well, and here's the thing: the stimulus package was supposed to be so y'all could pay your bills and shit. And some of us haven't gotten a stimulus. Like I didn't get a stimulus check yet, or I don't know if I'm gonna get it at all. I haven't gotten a stimulus check yet. My mother is on disability, and she's supposedly supposed to get this stimulus check. She ain't got it yet.
It was, from what I was told, college students, mothers that gave birth in 2020, and people with disabilities do not get a stimulus check. That's what I was told.
See, I wasn't told that, and like I was told the exact opposite, that everyone who makes under a certain amount gets it. If they're under the age of 18, they only get $500. But if you're a parent and they're under like under working age, then the parent gets the $500.
But they are proposing now. Oh, God damn it! I'm at 10%. They are proposing a new bill where every citizen above 16? Every citizen above 16, even college students and people with disabilities, and I'm pretty sure mothers, obviously, that's fucking stupid. They are proposing that every American citizen get $2,000 a month for as long as this quarantine lasts. However, ever since that happened, they've been talking about lifting the quarantine, and I don't know, conspiracy theorists, I guess, you can call me that, but I think that's their ploy to avoid paying us that much money.
Yeah.
Then there's just going to be a huge second wave because everyone's going to think that it's okay.
Right.
Well, and the thing with that is like, why would you exclude those people? Because college students are still working. People with disabilities have lower amount of money every month than people that are actually working.
Yeah.
And all these other people are still getting unemployment and still getting more than these people on disability are. And these people on disability still have to pay their fucking bills. But now they also have to get supplies in case they're trapped in their home, or they are trapped in their home. And so they've got to pay extra to get stuff delivered.
Side note, I'm about to plug my phone in, and with how finicky it is, it may or may not mute me, so we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I think it's utter bullshit that any of that is a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it is a thing, because it could be just conspiracy. But no, so the reason why they want to reopen the state is because one, they ran out of money. I'm gonna add more light here, but they ran out of money on that small business loan bullshit, and on top of that, so they're proposing more bills that supposedly passed today. But on top of that, they I think it boils down to big companies that don't care about people's health. They only care about the money that they're making, and they're giving Trump pressure. And because you notice he keeps going back and forth, contradicting himself. And the thing is even Ted Cruz is on his side, but we all know Ted Cruz is conspiracy, the Zodiac killer. But so he gets his jollies. But but no, so the thing is it's too soon. Even DeWine's basically saying it's too soon, but he's getting pressure from Trump, and then there's protesters, and he can't afford to do that. Or he can't afford to have that, especially because protesting, we had the least amount of protesters because of how DeWine and Dr. Acton have been handling this, but even then we still had protesters. Michigan, on the other hand, Michigan's been worse than us because they weren't allowed to get as far ahead as we were, because they weren't allowed to be a disaster state until a week after us, and they had way more cases because of that, and they had to lock down even harder than we did.
Right.
Yeah, there's people that are putting others at risk, and at that point you lose it's a constitutional amendment of pursuit of happiness, and basically it's confusing for a lot of people, but basically what it is your constitutional rights are fundamental, except for when it prevents somebody else from having a normal life. Your constitutional amendments your constitutional amendments and all that, and all your constitutional rights are there unless it prevents somebody from living, and having these protests and going out in public like this is preventing people from living. It's literally killing people, and that's where your rights go away. And it's only for as long as this lasts, and people aren't understanding that, and it's not going to go away overnight. This thing is going to last until they have a vaccine, or until they have a treatment that works for everybody, that's not going to kill a shit ton of people like it's been doing. Right. That's not going to happen for a while. This is an extremely advanced mutated version of the common cold. It's twice as bad as SARS. The thing is while it doesn't have a high mortality rate, it does have a very high infectivity rate. So it spreads a lot more, it affects a lot more people, and it kills a lot more people than it would normally happen. That's what I think people aren't understanding, is that while it's not as deadly, it's still deadlier.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it gets more people, and it gets to those people that the fact that we have people that even during a pandemic feel that they need to go to work sick because they are afraid of losing their jobs or how people will treat them is bullshit. And the fact that people are going to work sick, and how I know this is happening is because look at how many nursing homes have had outbreaks since the beginning of this.
Right.
That should have never been a thing. You should have stayed the fuck home. But guess what? They would have said, "Oh, well, you need a doctor note, or you need to be here," and that's not. No, you need to stay the fuck home. Like at that point, your job.
Unfortunately, nursing homes and stuff, it is very hard to do that. And especially since this virus does have an incubation period of 2 weeks, like you don't know you have it.
Yeah.
Right.
At that time, it's really touchy when it comes to like nursing homes and things like that, because unfortunately those residents, they can't take care of themselves. They have to have staff with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say that like when it comes to my job, I was actually talking to my supervisor, and she said that she's fully prepared to live at the house we work at if the quarantine or if this virus gets too bad, so she's not traveling back and forth. She'll just stay on the clock and just kind of live with them. And so there has to be, or there should be, some sort of implementation when it comes to stuff like that, like with nursing homes. Staff, at least a few of them or something, like switching on and off like shifts, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Process, just to God damn it here, just to minimize infectivity rates.
Yeah. And not to break away, but we did have a comment that does need to be addressed. Kaylee said, "There's a girl that spits at my work and does not wear a mask. If she's spitting around at work, one, that's gross, and two, call the health department.
Right.
Just make an anonymous complaint to the health department because that is not okay. Like if she's not wearing a mask, that's one thing. But when she's spitting everywhere at work, that one, that's gross, and two, that puts everybody at risk.
That's really fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like, even really normally.
I don't know who you are. I'm judging you hard.
Like, whoever that girl is a piece of shit. Like,
absolutely.
Like, because I mean, I have people that I work with that don't wear a face mask yet because we're not necessarily required to yet, and our bosses are trying to get a hold of face masks for us. I mean, I already have one and I've been wearing it because I have to, but like,
right.
So that's not really an issue yet. But when they're spitting at work, that's where I have the issue, and that's where I say no. Like, you need to be telling your boss first, and then if your boss won't do anything, you need to go to the health department. Because that puts everybody at risk. I don't know where you work, but that puts everybody at risk.
Right.
That puts your coworkers at risk. That puts your customers at risk. That puts everybody at risk, and you can't do that. Like,
even my work has face masks.
Yeah. See, the only reason my work doesn't is because they're still trying to get a hold of some, because it's hard as fuck too right now. Yep. But like but other restaurants in town, like they've gotten a hold of them, or they've required their employees to get them. The ones that like have few employees, they're like, "No, you guys get them," and stuff. But yeah, so like that's a thing. So like, but so let's move on to
something else.
Yeah, let's move on to we addressed the elephant in the room. Let's move on to something happier. Anybody watching Drag Race? Because I have not.
I haven't either.
I heard there was some drama. Somebody like did something illegal or something like that.
Yes, actually, I was FaceTiming with Tripp earlier about Drag Race tea that I wanted to address. Sherry Pie. Now,
yeah, that's who it was.
Thing first off, I've been kind of watching it. I'm able to watch TV at my client's house, and they have cable, so I'm able to watch it there. It's good. It's sickening. It really is. Some of those looks are so good. I was really, really sad to see Rockham and Nikki go home. And actually, wait, spoilers. Wait, do you guys care about spoilers?
No, I don't. But I don't know who if everybody is watching cares. But But yeah, so I
We're
so
going
I'm
on
really keeping up, and I know who some of the queens are. So wait, what happened with Sherry? I know it was something like really bad because they were like talking how it was worse than what Willem did, because Willem really just did it for
So
to title the first person that was
it first came out with basically she posed as a production manager, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it's called. Her name is Allison Mossy. She was basically asking for increasingly suspicious like pictures and videos of these people that were auditioning for plays. And more and more people came out, the more and more shit was happening, like that was coming out. At the moment, I actually watched an interview with one of the victims. He said that there are upwards of like 40 victims. Like it's not just a one or two, like that was we originally thought. It's at least 40. And this person that was doing this interview was saying that Sherry or Allison convinced him to bulk up for a role that said, like, you know, she said if you can't bulk up, you can't have it. So she convinced him to take steroids.
That's not okay.
At all. At all. And she's a full-on predator. I don't know if you guys heard or saw, but the producers of RuPaul's Drag Race do not condone it.
That might be my Wi-Fi. Oh,
I mean, I figured that they didn't condone it. I know from my standpoint, as somebody who occasionally has to take like asthma related steroids, they fuck you up. Like, and
they
like,
do.
like, and like, I don't get the roid rage from them because, but like, I get like really, I get loopy as fuck. I get high as fuck off of them, and it's like to the point where I don't want to take them because it's like an uncomfortable high.
Really?
Like, but I have to take them because, like, especially because, like, the beginning of this pandemic, and part of the reason why I have to wear a face mask at work is because with all the cleaning chemicals everybody's been using, it's been affecting my lungs way worse. It's making my asthma like way worse. I had more asthma attacks in 1 week than I have had in years combined. Like in like 5-10 years combined.
That happened with hair. I've never heard that happen with inhaled corticosteroids.
Well, no, it's not inhaled. They actually put me on
like prednisone. It's like a pill.
They put me on prednisone to boost because my rescue inhaler wasn't cutting it, so they put me on prednisone for a week, like a high dose of prednisone to get my lungs back on track because they couldn't handle all the cleaning chemical fumes, and like they're starting to wear, like, it's been like a week or two since I last took it, and so like it's starting to wear off a little bit, and I'm starting to like get a little bit of a cough back, which I have to be careful in public because I'm afraid of getting shot for coughing. But it's like, no, it's cleaning chemicals. I have asthma.
Not contagious, I swear.
Unfortunately, you can't wear a sign around your neck that says that. But
yeah, like, yeah, get a t-shirt that says I have asthma. Speaking of, I saw a t-shirt at a store said I survived the toilet paper crisis of 2020, and I wanted it so bad, but I didn't. It was at a gas station. But yeah, so though, and speaking from my experience with prednisone, because I've been on it a few times, because I've got like moderate to severe asthma. Like, it's normally mild to moderate now. When I was little, it was like moderate to severe, and now it's moderate to severe. Because of all the cleaning chemical fumes, and my lungs not been able to handle it. And like that week that I was on prednisone, it was like, and I only took 1 pill a day, and it fucked me up. Like, I was high as shit for a week, and it was an uncomfortable high. And it's like I didn't want to take it, but I needed to so I could fucking breathe. And speaking from that experience, like somebody like talking to me into taking something like that, that's not okay. Like, that screws somebody up big time. And especially if they get addicted to that stuff. Like, I've heard stories of like becoming sterile from taking steroids.
Oh, you know, actually, like the illegal steroids. And that's what Sherry Pie convinced that victim to do. It was really, really bad. If you want, I think his name is Jake Yonsei on YouTube.
I that's actually how I found out about Cherry Pie.
Yeah, he has like it's like 53 minutes of the interview and actual like I don't want to say messages, but like of what was going on. And like I said, the producers of Drag Race do not condone it. They actually expressed that in, I'm pretty sure, at the beginning of every episode. I've only seen like a couple of them, so I don't know if it's like a consistent every episode. They do not condone it. She is disqualified from the finale. She's not able to go on to the finale. But in terms of the other girls, it's not fair to cut out segments with her in it, because then that takes away airtime of the other girls that deserve it. So they do have her they do have her in Untucked. They do have those things. She's in the show. They're airing that, but in terms of the finale, she's not allowed to come to the show. I lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. Like, yes, like I heard she wasn't allowed to come to the finale or anything like that.
And one of the designers of a lot of her looks is getting so much heat right now. I don't know if it's still going on, but they were getting a lot of heat because her name, in terms of her outfits, Sherry Pie's outfits, the designer's name, they were giving the designer a lot of backlash. Unfortunately, they felt really defend themselves, which they shouldn't have to, because just because they not mean they enjoy their behavior. Like, it's just a look, it's an outfit designed for that person. That at the time when they designed it, they were unaware of these actions. So I don't know. I really hope they aren't still heated.
So I figured out how to do this. Sorry, I'm not trying to distract. I'm just trying to add these words. Is she spitting or a spit talker? Gross either way.
Kaylee said
she's just spitting.
She just
I figured out how to make
comments
on screen.
Oh, about the girl you're working with. I'm like, me?
No, not you.
I hope not. So yeah, that's the tea on Cherry Pie.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. This just reminded me of something else with her. She has not posted on Instagram since all of these allegations were brought to light, and she has actually disabled comments from happening. And if you go to her Instagram, like the first few looks have a lot of like, "Hi, Allison Mossy," like people being really petty. And I live for it, because she doesn't deserve to be treated nice. And I'm sorry, like, she might be. But I'm sorry, like, she's kind of a piece of shit. What is that?
All together now. We'll read it for you, so you don't have to put your glasses on. I promise.
I'm sorry.
I just didn't want to interrupt you. But yeah, no, Sherry Pie more like roofie pie. But that's the
Scarlett,
tea.
the child is watching.
Wait, who's watching?
Pax Punch.
Hi, Pax. So yeah, you're wearing like these gauges. I wear like fake gauges. They're little like red
I
things.
couldn't find my fake gauges. I was pissed.
Oh my gosh. I have like 4 pairs. I love them.
I have real gauges, and I got a pair of Tiger's Eye. These bitches are broke.
Oh,
like
no. It looks cute though. If it was full, it'd be better. But like, it looks cute. Yeah, you know. I mean, they're cute, so like, why not? Fuck it.
I know.
No, so I figured out what was going on with the comments. So it'll actually like show comments on my thing that are being like commented on Facebook. I just have to set the privacy to public to do it. Okay. And so now I can actually like put their comments on screen for us to like address, instead of just reading them off, and then that way I can just let my phone charge. This setup is actually a lot nicer than Be Live. I like this better.
The next time we do this, we need to do a test run to see if I'm able to go on Facebook Live, because I hate looking at this this website. It's not nice.
Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, I hate looking at it too, but it also does provide a lot better than Facebook Live would. It's like because we can actually put the comments on screen and we can actually like do the split screen without
without issue.
yeah, without issue. Because like Facebook Live fucks up on my devices, so does Be Live.
Really?
And so far, other than you going mute for a little bit, we really haven't had any issues like we did with Be Live or regular Facebook Live.
Okay.
Because regular Facebook Live lags really bad, and then Be Live, it like, ask Tripp, like I was glitching out every 10 seconds. Tripp's like, Scarlett, are you there, Scarlett? And I'm like, I'm
literally
here.
me like
And
attempting
I had to
to,
keep like restarting it.
That sounds like a mess.
It
It
was.
wasn't. Like it was fine during our actual performances because we did performances that time, but then like during the Q&A, I kept like vanishing because I had to keep
Right.
restarting it.
There would just be points where I'd just be like, I'm just gonna keep talking. I have no idea where Scarlett went.
Yeah. And I'm like over here, like I'm still here. I'm just in the walls or like deceased as I like destroy shit in my room.
Right. I guess
Trying
we
to get
should
my laptop charger.
figure out a performance for the three of us. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
I am such a weak performer.
Have you seen me perform?
Like,
Have you seen me perform? All I do is shake my
tits
tits in my mouth.
like tune in.
Like I literally just swing around on a pole, bend over in front of people, and then shake my tits and my ass. And I can't even twerk. So, although even if I can twerk with my hip pads, I cannot twerk because my hip pads are literally like 6 inches thick.
I'm not gonna like at anyone, but I was told that all I do is sashay on stage. I just sashay and walk around, and I'm like,
I mean, there's a lot of people that do that. Not gonna at somebody, but there's a lot of people that do that. So I don't know why they mad. At least if you look pretty and you sashay in on stage and you look pretty and people like it and they're tipping you, don't be mad. You're just mad you ain't getting tipped.
At the time,
leave the girl alone.
I was really ugly at that time, so I
mean, put it this way: we've all had ugly moments, and the more drunk that they like, the more they drink, the prettier we look.
I get it.
And to be fair, I used to be a fucking booger. Like when I first started, I was really, really bad. Like you can Tripp seen pictures. Like
go to my Instagram, you're gonna see some horror stories.
Listen, go to my Facebook and go all the way back, and there's a couple horror stories that I need to change the privacy to only me. But like they're really bad. Like my first Sandusky Pride.
Can I confess something? I've never been to Pride.
Really?
Ever.
Bitch, we gonna drag you to Pride this year at some point. I personally am upset about Columbus Pride though, because I was so looking forward to going this year and now I can't.
It's in October.
Yeah, that's why I can't. Because the day that Columbus Pride is literally the day of the Con on the Cob show.
Mm.
The exact day. It's during the because we okay. So shameless plug. October 1st to the 4th, in Richfield, Ohio. There is Con on the Cob at a little former Holodome, and it's amazingly fun. We can post links later or get a hold of Andy Hop, and he will get you set up. There's a Kickstarter.
Mark Bogner in the comments.
Or talk to Mark Bogner in the comments. But it's a lot of fun. It's a gaming convention, and there's also a burlesque show and a drag show hosted by this bitch.
Yeah, your two favorite hoes will be there.
Yeah, your favorite fuckboy and your favorite hoe is gonna be there. So and we are actually doing a panel this year on the Saturday of Con on the Cob, and we are doing a show that night. So it's going to be once again a very long day of drag because I just always get dragged that morning anyways. But this year I'm just going to be in one face for the panel. But and maybe boobies, probably boobies because I like my boobies. But no, so like but they moved Columbus Pride to the day of the Con on the Cob show. And I was upset because I really wanted to go to Columbus Pride this year because I did not get to go last year because I was a busy fucking bee. I went to a shit ton of prides last year, and I only went like 2 of them, but like I still went to a shit ton of prides, both in and out of drag. Actually, there's only one I went to out of drag, and that was Toledo Pride. Because Toledo Pride was I'm gonna fucking enjoy this pride instead of be working this pride. Because Findlay Pride, I was helping at a booth in drag. Caddy Pride in Cadillac, Michigan, I was performing. Sandusky Pride, I was performing, and I was also wandering around in drag that whole weekend.
Wait, this is last 2019?
Yeah, Sandusky Pride, I was in drag that whole weekend.
I was there. I performed.
I know. We were there
I
together.
don't remember seeing you. I'm a really bad
I
person.
was in the drag off with you. I was the hoe on the side with the fuck boy who is no longer my drag daughter for reasons. But we're not gonna talk about that because I'm not gonna at people.
I mean, I would at people, but
I totally could add people and how mad I am at that bitch. I would add that person, but I'm not gonna add that person because I'm not gonna be petty like that.
we'll be petty later.
Yeah, we'll be petty later in private, but not here. Bitches suffered enough.
Did you just lose a nail?
Huh?
Did you just lose a nail? I just thought.
Oh my god.
This is the second time.
But yeah, no, we were both at Sandusky Pride. I was there in drag the whole weekend. That was actually the first time I got my first drag daughter, who's no longer my daughter in drag.
Mm.
So,
I have a story for you. When I first started drag, it was 2014. I met this woman who she said she was from Toledo. Well, the drag queen said she was from Toledo. I don't remember her name. But
message me what she looks like. I might know her.
she's a mess. She's a mess, girl. But actually, what's Eclipse Galaxy? Do you know her? Right?
No.
She performs in Toledo. Galaxy, Eclipse Galaxy.
Maybe when I started, there was nobody by that name. I know a couple people by the name of Eclipse, but
okay. Well, anyways, this woman, this queen said she would take me under her wing. She was sending me all these pictures of her drag, and she's like, yeah, I can teach you. She's like, I have such a large family too. Like, we're all so close together, and she would like call me like on the phone, like whenever I was upset, really confided in me. Long story short, she's a fucking fraud. Okay. So that was my first experience with a drag mother. I haven't had a drag mom since. And I was actually a Tripp when I was talking to you earlier about winning that competition. I performed with Eclipse, and I was kind of, shooting the shit with her and talking about this woman. And she's like, oh my God, she is a fucking mess. She's like, she is banned from Legends forever because she got sloppy drunk, was taking off all her jewelry. She was flinging it into the crowd. She hit someone in the face with, it was like a belt buckle or an earring. I can't remember. Like, shoes falling off. She was like rolling around all over, spilling drinks on people. That was an experience. So like I have a bad experience with drag moms.
I know exactly who you're talking about because I've seen her before, but like I've never met her in person.
What is her name?
You sent me
it was Eclipse Galaxy. I have a mutual friend with her.
No, yeah.
Send me the pic later. Okay, so Joe says, Tripp, I love that picture you have of Audrey from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
It's the one right behind my head. And Joe says,
hi, Scarlett. Hi, Joe. Which actually, fun fact, last time Tripp and I were talking, I legitimately thought she was wearing a face mask, but it's really just
it's just bubblegum in a Starbucks cup.
But the way it looked like from here, it looks like and you
that was me telling you where I got it.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand that at first. I was like, "Who's TJ Maxx?" Like,
no, I bought it at TJ Maxx.
I need. Maybe you can find one. Like, might have it online. But like I personally, I don't have a drag mom right now. Like I did have a drag mom, and then we just parted separate ways, and we're civil now, and like we're still like friendly. But I don't have a drag mom right now. But that's by personal choice. I do have drag daughters, most of whom don't perform. Packs a punch. That's putting me on blast.
I got the text of thanks for calling me out like that.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Like, Packs a Punch has performed, just not in drag, but in a drag manner has performed.
And outperformed me to the point where I walked off.
I'm not trying to force her to perform or anything like that. I'm not that type of drag mom. But and then I have Svetlana, who does perform, but she doesn't perform very often because work. So a lot of my drag daughters are just busy. But like, okay, so going from being a drag daughter to being a drag mom, my view on it is like, I'm not gonna force you to do anything you want. I'm here to help you learn and grow. I may not always be the best at certain things, and if I'm not, like, I'm not just gonna like try to show you my way of doing things. I'm gonna take you like and understand, like, I make sure to explain that like everything takes practice. And if I don't know how to do something, I'm gonna take you to somebody that does, that I know, and ask them to help you. Or like, I'm not gonna like throw you at them, but like, I'm gonna ask them to help you with this certain thing if you want to learn it. I'm not gonna like force you to do anything. I am gonna be like, hey, do you want to go to this open stage with me? But if you don't want to go, I'm not gonna be like, well, bitch, you need to get here, or bitch, you need to wear this, or bitch, you need to be wearing heels. I mean, I recommend heels because they look more feminine. But if you want to wear fucking sneakers, I mean, that's on you. That's your style. Like, you want to do that, that's on you. Like, I mean, I would prefer you try heels at least once, but I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. And like, if you don't have time to hang out, that's cool. Like, we're adults, we're busy, like, we have lives outside of drag. Like, that's just my view on it. Like, I'm not gonna proclaim to be the best makeup artist or the best this or the best dancer, like, because I'm not necessarily. But what I am gonna be is your friend. I am going to, like, if you want to learn something, if I don't know how to do it or I can't show you, I'm gonna lead you to where you can learn it. And that's the thing. Like, that's what I feel like a good drag mother should do, is if she can teach you something and you want to learn it, she's going to take you to her friend who does know how to do that, so you can learn it. And if you don't excel at it, she's going to be there. Like, she's going to be there as the supportive friend and be like, listen, it may not be your strong suit. That's okay. Like, we all have our own specialties. We all have things we're good at and things we're not good at. And it just happens both of us are shit at. It happens. You know, like, I might not have the best, like, the biggest wardrobe, but like, if I have something and you want to borrow it for a show, go right ahead. Just make sure I get it back, because shit's expensive and I don't have too much money for these things all the time. And it's like, you know, I'm not gonna force you to do anything you want. And like, where I have the problem is when a person who's a friend of mine is a drag mom, they constantly put people on blast, or they constantly try to force people to do shit, and then they don't have, like, their kids don't stay around and stuff, like. And as a drag mom, I just have like a couple simple rules. You know, you at least try sometime to do drag, and don't just use, like, you just use me for a name. You know, especially because like a lot of people occasionally think that I'm Michael J. Valentine's drag daughter, and I'm not. Like, my name came because my favorite color is red and pink, and I was born on Valentine's Day. I didn't know who Michael J. Valentine was when I came up with this name. So like, you know, and I'm not even from the state. So like, you know, and I wasn't big in the drag scene before I moved down here at all. Like, I knew some drag queens, like older drag queens and stuff, and some younger drag queens, but they were all Michigan based. Like, they didn't really hang out with people from Ohio that much. So it's like, so I didn't know who people were. But one, don't use me for a name. Two, don't fuck with the relationships of the other people in your drag family. Like, don't be a homewrecker. Like, because I call us the house of heartbreakers. Like, yeah, we break hearts, we don't home wreck. There's a difference.
Right.
Like, wrecking is a big problem in the gay community, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like, if they have an open relationship, that's one thing, or if they invite you to be part of a throuple, that's one thing. But if you know that they're monogamous and you're trying to get in one of the relationships pants, that's a no-go. Like, don't do that. That's messy. Like, we don't do that. Like, that's not okay. And then my third basic rule is just like, my third rule is don't make fools of our drag family. Like, don't go around causing drama. Don't go start shit. Like, even if it's a pandemic, like, conduct yourself with some class if you're using our drag name. Like, don't go to dispensers and like throw shit at cashiers and shit. Like, or don't just be sloppy drunk and like make a fool of yourself and everybody else when you're in drag, or if people are using your drag name. And then the last rule is just forgot what the last rule is off the top of my head. It's bad. No, it was something simple. The last rule is just kind of like be yourself, have fun, and like just enjoy it. Like, if you're not enjoying it, like, if you don't enjoy doing drag, you shouldn't do that. That's
Absolutely. It should never feel. I mean, sometimes like I'll get in a mindset where, I mean, I used to, where like I had a look to do or something like that, and it just kind of felt like a chore. I that sometimes, you know, I get in that kind of rut thing.
That happens, but at the end of the day, you enjoy it, right?
Absolutely. And if it becomes like a consistent thing where it feels like a chore or it feels like a job instead of it feels like your passion, it feels like, you know, something that you actually enjoy, that's when it's time to kind of reevaluate.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is like a side job, but in the same instance, at the end of the day, even when I feel like a chore, by the end of the show, I enjoy it and I realize why I like it so much. But if that joy ever left for good, I'd be like, no. But Jeremy said, hi, Scarlett, and both y'all. Hi, Jeremy. Kaylee had to go, but she's going to keep us updated on Candy Wants Some, apparently. Because, yeah, we found out about that. So, but yeah, that's my thing is like a drag mom should not be like trying to force anybody into anything.
Right.
And I've seen that happen too often. Like yeah, it's good to give your drag daughters or drag sons a little push. Be like, hey, let's do this, but not to like just like shove them. Like, yeah, by all means, kick them out of the nest and say fly, bitch, if they need it. But don't be like hanging them by a noose and saying like either you fly or you die. Like, that's not okay. Like that's not your job. Your job is to like basically get to nurture them, and like if they aren't flying, pick them back up and help them, but not like yeah, not be like, okay, well, either you're flying or you're dead to me. Like, no, that's not okay.
No.
And I've seen that far too often. But so there's 4 people watching. Don't be afraid to like comment before you are watching.
One of those people is me.
Huh?
So one of those people is me because I'm reading comments.
Well, 3 people are watching. If any of you 3 people would like to comment, ask us questions or anything like that, feel free. We will try to answer them to the best of our abilities. Life advice, drama going on, anything like current events, how ugly my hair looks because it's floofing out because of this freaking, how do you call it? The fact that I'm wearing Christmas shit in April, but it has been snowing a lot lately.
This hair is absolutely getting on my nerves.
I feel it.
I was styling it last night. Before this, it was completely straight. I tried to style it to give it like space buns or something, and it wasn't working. So my fiance and I put braids in it. We put it in water. We let it dry. It obviously like it gave it this wave, this 80s bullshit, and it was great. It was fucking great. So I was like, oh, cute. So let me put space buns in it. And it was putting them in and they were actually staying. But they were like really close together and really up front. I couldn't do anything with it. So I like put it off to the fucking side and I like hairsprayed it and let it dry. And it was working great. And now it's just all kind of falling. I'm messing with it so much and I apologize, but it won't fucking stay. It won't get out of my face.
That's why I put a hat on.
I know, I'm about to take my wig off and put a different one on.
Okay, so this comment was not on the original one, so we couldn't see it on here. But William Slover said, "You're beautiful, Scarlett, and I miss you." And aw, thank you, and I miss you too. I haven't seen you in so long.
But no, if your wig's bothering you, I would put a different one on or just take it off.
I mean, I take my wigs off all the time, so I'm not one to give advice on this. I'm kind of biased. Although I did cut my hair shorter, so I mean it's still like down to here, but like I cut it shorter, so it's kind of boyish now. Like it's still androgynous, but so something we could address too is the fact that a lot of gay bars have been closing in the last year, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Unfortunately,
yeah, like I know the and there's a lot behind it, but I know one bar that closed in the Toledo area was McCune's, where it actually closed the night I was supposed to have a show there, and they didn't tell us until like I didn't find out until 5 hours before my show was supposed to start. I was literally still asleep from the night before because I had been at that bar the night before.
Right.
And I found out 5 hours before my show was supposed to start. And I found out because one of the people that was supposed to be in the show, who was literally like my best friend, he told me, because he woke me up with a phone call telling me that it was closed, and I was like super upset. But that's not the only bar that's closed recently. It's and William, so we can't see your comments on the actual like live feed because you're commenting on one of the shares. So I'm gonna like give me just a moment and I will be able to see that because I gotta wait for my phone to turn back on. But yeah, no, it was like super sad, and I know Brett's closed recently. All Access closed, but All Access only closed to open as Valhalla. In the next town over, so that's not as bad, but like it's scary because a lot of performance spaces have been taken away from us. Ooh, I love that hair. Like that's very like pink Lady Godiva. It's like very like bubblegum Lady Godiva, and I'm fucking living for it.
Kind of like Morticia Adams, but pastel.
Yeah,
kind of.
I fucking love it. But no, so like a lot of performance spaces have been taken away. I know like with Tantalizing Thursdays in Finley, which I co-host. Another shameless plug. I co-host that, which we are unsure when we're gonna be able to start back up. But when we do, I instantly will have that posted everywhere. But no, so with Tantalizing Thursdays, we originally, like before I joined this show as showcast and then as co-host, at the beginning of this year, last year we were at Anvil, and the last show of the year was in October, which I was in as just a guest star, or as a guest, but the Anvil decided no longer to have the show, and Levi busted his behind to get us a new venue. And that venue just happened to be a banquet hall, which unfortunately we do not have a liquor license currently, which the owner is working on so we can start selling alcohol and making more money to help support the show and support his venue, because we do pay rent currently. But yeah, so like that's a struggle we've had to face since the beginning of this year, which thankfully the people of Finley are amazing. We've had a great turnout and everything, and it's just been great. But it's one of those things where it's kind of sad that all these venues have been taken out and we've had to get creative, and like that, especially with when the bars closed. Like originally we still could have had our show. We decided not to because it started, like the pandemic started getting worse in our country right before our show was supposed to happen, so we ended up canceling the show. But like even then, like these venues are like these friendly venues are getting taken away from us, and we've had to get creative just to still perform. Like, yeah, we can still perform at Pride and stuff, but like you got to remember these queens like pay a lot to do this stuff. This is a very expensive thing to do. Like, I mean, even now, like with the pandemic and like how hard it is to get a hold of makeup and stuff, like I had to, like, I literally used scraps of foundation, like dollar store foundation, because I ran out of foundation. I was supposed to get paid today, and I ended up not getting my paycheck because they were running behind on payroll. Which, I mean, albeit it was 2 days early for payday anyways. They've just been doing it because of the pandemic. but I couldn't get foundation today. I'm using scraps of dollar store foundation just to make do until I can actually go get new foundation. And like I used the last of my foundation just to get ready for this talk show. So like
this is definitely not a cheap profession. This is not a cheap, I don't want to call it hobby, but you know, hobby if you will. My fiance and I, we spent a collective $600 on makeup like a month ago. It's not fucking cheap, but
I mean, Ipsy kind of helps me out, but yeah, like outfits, like some of these amazing outfits that people are wearing, people fail to realize that they spent $1,000 on some of those. Like this one outfit I have is literally like I mean, I'll buy stuff secondhand off of other performers, but I'm a bigger girl, and it's so hard to get anything for less than like 120, 150 that fits without like stretching or like ripping or like stuff like that, or the zipper stop working. And like, I mean, with my hip pads, I'm even bigger than I am. Like I'm a big girl. Like I'm not enormous, but like I'm a big girl, and like with I have 6-inch hip pads on each side when I perform, and like I get that beautiful like pear-shaped hourglass thingy. But like it's expensive to get clothes. Like I spent for if anybody has seen my Incredibles outfit, I spent $200 on that.
Yeah,
just for that one outfit, and that was for a one-off number for Halloween. I mean, albeit I've done it more since then, but that was for a number for Halloween. One show. And that's because also I wanted something like nice and gowny and stuff, and it just. But yeah. Also, William said, "Oh my fucking god, McKean's closed. Sad moment, but God, the memories." Yes, there were a lot of memories. That Miss Mahogany Love Rain put me on blast for during last con on the Cobb, which.
All I could think of is the giant rice Krispies.
She shared why I became known as a hoe, and it's all because of that bar. Scarlett would have been a very different performer if she. Well, I'm talking myself in third person. That's fucking weird. But no, I would have been a very, very different performer if I had not started at McKean's and if I had not been performing at McKean's. I don't think I would have been as like. I mean, I still probably would have been like free the nipple and shit like that, but I would not be as much of a hoe or like go with that branding at all. Like
we stand a hoe.
I mean, yeah, but like I would not be taking pictures on a corner and shit like that. There are some stories from McKean's that y'all ain't gonna hear here.
I know.
I'll tell these bitches in a well, Tripp knows, but I'll tell in a private conversation on a video chat after this, but not during this.
Absolutely.
I think my favorite memory from Con on the Cob was we all got we got tipped. Like we also got cash, but we got tipped in food.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing. My favorite moment, other than getting tipped in treats, was which like of course that was all Mahogany's fault. She's like, somebody tip me in food. Like y'all don't have money, that's fine. Just tip me in like
tip me food. I'm hungry.
Tip me in a Snickers. I'm hungry. She's like, I'm a big girl. I'm hungry. I'm like, I'm a big girl too. Like I won't turn down food. I mean, albeit some people get. I have allergies, so I had to like share some of my stuff with other people. But like. My favorite moment from Con on the Cob was when I was going to introduce Miss Mahogany, and the bitch comes out with literally a tray of Rice Krispie treats, to the point where I was like, and now introducing my big sis, Miss Maha. And I was like, Maha, and I looked at her, and I turned and looked at her. I was like, bitch, what? I started laughing. Like I just started breaking laughing. I was like, hit the music. I can't. Because she walks out, and there's just this huge tray of Rice Krispie treats. Like, not like the little one, like the yard-long one. And somebody had went down, got the whole tray of Rice Krispie treats, brought it back, and gave it to her. Somehow without me noticing, sitting right by the dressing room. Somehow without me noticing, tipped her this goddamn huge ass thing of Rice Krispie treats. And she walks out on stage with it and just starts eating it. And then she shared it with the whole audience. And I'm like, bitch. And then she comes off the stage.
In food anyways, so why not just cut out the middleman and tip me in food?
Right? So, but she came up to me after her number. She's like, you want some? I was like, yeah. That was honestly my favorite moment. Like I just started breaking down laughing because people were like running out of money because at that night because they weren't prepared for it. I mean, the people that had been to the year before were prepared for it, but some people hadn't been to a drag show before. Like not a lot of people, but some people weren't. And honestly, I mean, yeah, we got tipped in a decent amount of money, but
most I've ever made.
that we got tipped in food also was like just cool because that's something that only really happens at conventions and stuff like that. Like crazy, silly shit. And that's why I love Con on the Cob so much. Like, I mean, I've seen people like just get tipped in food at bars, but not to the extremity and not as not to the volume that happened at Con on the Cob last year. Like people were bringing trays of Rice Krispie treats. Like I had somebody shove a fun size Snickers down my bra, albeit I let them and I knew who they were. They had permission, but because consent is key. Remember that.
Right.
But there was food galore and then money too, and it was a fun night. Like, and then of course afterwards, a couple of the performers went to the Barfleet party, which this year will be my first year enjoying the Barfleet party because the past 2 years I either haven't been able to or just declined just to stay sober. But this year I'm gonna go to the Barfleet party. But there's one rule that I have. I am not going to Barfleet with Night Mage.
Yeah, you want to remember the next day.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'll remember the night regardless. I just don't want to get so drunk that I do stuff that I regret. Like,
That's fair.
Dancing from the ceiling while throwing my bra around or anything. Like dancing on the table with my panties in there.
That's just my Thursday night.
So a normal Thursday night.
Like, no, that's a Thursday night for me. To be fair, that's a Thursday night for me. I can't be doing that on a Saturday. That's a Thursday night for me.
No,
I'm a thought on
Saturday's
Thursdays.
fun.
But I'm a thought on Thursdays. Let's be real here. But like,
Oh, I just messed up my mascara. I like itched my eye, totally forgetting that I'm wearing makeup, and I
have to like stab my face whenever I even itch.
right? The struggle bus here.
I don't even have nails anymore, and I'm just like I have to scratch.
I broke another one off.
I had like green. I had green acrylics on, and they all just like snapped off on their own, and it hurt.
Ow!
Well,
that sounds like it hurts.
Scarlett, you remember the last time we performed? I was, had my long green nails, and now I have nothing.
That looks painful, honestly.
It was. So
a cool thing about Tripp is Tripp sometimes transforms into a female, and Tripp transformed into a female for the last Con on the Cob, which was really freaking cool.
Totally last minute, borrowed all of Scarlett's clothes.
So what happened last year at Con on the Cob was it was kind of upsetting, but okay, so what happened is people like I had a bunch of entertainers from all of the state booked, or well not booked, but hot spotted because I didn't really have a budget for the show. But we do get tipped, obviously.
I don't have a budget.
But no, so the thing is like I had all these entertainers set to perform, and literally all but Mahogany bailed last second. Like the day of, with the exception of one performer who bailed beforehand and gave me a heads up, which was okay, and I appreciated the heads up. But the rest of the performers bailed the day of, which was kind of like had me a little upset because I had to scramble last second to try to find somebody else to perform because I'm not gonna I didn't want to I wanted to give these people the best. Like I didn't want to just give them to people.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, and so Tripp happened to be there at Con on the Cob, enjoying Con on the Cob, and borrowed some of my wardrobe and mine and Mahogany's makeup, and joined the show literally 2 hours before the show and fucking killed it. So, Tripp came as Andromeda for that, and it was actually very, very interesting, but it was also very, very fun, very, very cool, and that's why Tripp is joining us again this year because he knocked it out of the park. And same with Mahogany, because Mahogany's Mahogany. Also, she knows my secrets, and she kind of makes it a little bit more fun too. Because I miss performing with that bitch. Like we used to see each other like 3-4 times a week, guaranteed. And like I live an hour away from Toledo, and I used to go either to perform or to hang out with Mahogany or both. It was usually both. But or just to hang out with Mahogany. And like I was there all the freaking time, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I mean that's just something that like it, and that's something that I've learned from drag is the I love the fact that I'm able to make friends in drag. Now there is kind of a like I have noticed there's kind of a stigma, especially when it comes to dating, about being a drag queen or like in my case being gender fluid is a little bit more of a stigma, but which shouldn't be a thing, but it is. And I mean it sometimes boils down to preference, and that's okay. Like you're allowed to have your preference, you're just not allowed to be a dick about it. But like
like I don't date gender fluid people. That
yeah, but there's a way to be about it. It's like if you're respectful and like you're amazing, it's just you're not my type. I'm sorry. It's just my preference. That's fine. Like I understand that because like people have preferences. I have my own preferences. But when you're like, I would never date somebody that does that because you're just like I don't date women. And it's like, no, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, like if you're just like there's a difference between being a dick about it and being respectful about it. Very big difference. There's no fine line there. It's like clear cut and dry. Like if you're being a dick about it, you're being a dick about it. It's like the people on Grindr like no rice, no spice. Like that's not okay. That's racist.
no fats, no femmes, no Asians, no blacks. Like
it's one. You don't have to put that on your profile. You can just be like when somebody like that. That isn't your preference message. You'd be like, I'm sorry, you're just not my type. Or just like, do what a normal person does and ghost the fuck out of them. They'll get the hint. And if they don't, then block them. That's what a normal person does.
I don't know. It just makes me so mad. Like, we are supposed to be a tolerant community because, we've seen the ugly side of discrimination. But my God, we are so judgmental, even with each other. Like, we tear each other down more than straight people tear us down. Like in terms of discrimination,
and I think that happens in like every community because every community has those issues where the biggest hater on every community, the biggest racist towards any community, the biggest homophobic people are usually the people that are in that community. And it's sad. It's disappointing. It's sad. It's sorry. I'm just getting more comfortable. My hip actually kind of hurts a little bit. But
Scarlett's dying. It's fine.
I'm slowly dying. But no, so it's like it's one of those things where I found that the biggest people that hate on people is people in that community. And it's very, very upsetting. Especially like in times like these when our previous known safe spaces, like our previous known safe spaces are like being taken from us. Like the gay bars are shutting down. There's a stigma on bathhouses, and it's like you do realize that like I get it, if it's not your thing, that's fine. But understand that bathhouses were a way for us to one, meet safely, and two, to actually like have a safe place to have sex without fear of getting attacked or stuff like that. Like that's a part of our history. Like whether you like it or not, that's a part of our history. Like things in this country weren't always as good as they are now. Like, and even now, like it's dangerous for some of us. It's like we still got a long way to go, and like we're like everybody thought with the big marriage decision, oh yeah, the fight's over. It's like no, it's not. It's still going. It's still going to go until the end of time. It's just
we still have a fight going on within this community because we have yet to realize that we're really our only ally, but I don't know. We just seem so we fight ourselves.
I think part of it is like, especially when people get bored, they like to attack people and judge people and stuff like that. That's why you've seen on some Facebooks and stuff like that, and on some feeds, like people just like attacking people or treating people like shit. And it's like, I get it, you're bored, but there's no reason to be a dick about it.
Like, well, people are just trash.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
Like when
I know some trash human beings, but
I mean, most like there are some people that are like complete trash. You can give them the benefit of a doubt. Oh, they're bored. They're still trash. Yeah. But there are some good people, like the three people in this chat. But like,
yeah.
I don't know. Did my Wi-Fi cut out again?
Wait, what?
I think my Wi-Fi just cut out.
What do you mean it cut out? We can hear you just fine.
Oh, like I totally lost everything for a second there.
Oh yeah, it's probably just
See
we can
you.
hear you just fine. I'm trying to find some more stuff to talk about. Anything good on Netflix, you guys? Anything good you've seen on Netflix? Because I saw Green Hornet in the background there. Does she?
Oh, my fiance was watching Glee. I've never seen Glee, but he's gotten me sucked into it the last few days.
Lovely.
Obviously,
Still never seen it.
Dragula.
What is wrong with you two? Like,
I love Dracula.
I actually, I'm gonna try to get my wardrobe up because I took a 3-year break from drag. I'm gonna try to get my wardrobe back up, and I want to audition for Dragula the next time they have auditions.
Do it. I will support you in those.
It looks really fun. It looks really challenging. I love the diversity that it showcases. They actually had an interview. I think it was in March, like just a month ago.
Yeah.
They were basically talking about like, it doesn't matter what you identify as, how you present yourself or anything. Like, one season we could have a whole cast of drag kings. We could have a whole cast of female drag queens.
Right.
It all depends on what we see fit. Like, if you seem like a good fit for the show, we want to cast you. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter how you dress or anything like that. So I absolutely love the inclusivity, if that's the word, of the Boulet brothers. Really, really groundbreaking. They're really
and that's
a new path.
See, that's something that I've found as a struggle too, because like a lot of people are like, I guess I honestly like, one, I believe like, yeah, you should, if you're a good fit for the show or you're just like a great performer and they want you in the show, like, then you should be in the show. It shouldn't matter what you are, who you are, you know. And while yes, some sex SECTS, not SEXTS. Some sects of drag don't necessarily always get the attention that they deserve, like drag kings and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But that shouldn't stop you from, having an all queen show if it's an all queen show. Like, not every area has drag kings. Now that also doesn't mean that you should never cast drag kings. Like, it should be it should be based on, are you a good fit for the show? Would the audience like you? Stuff like that. It shouldn't be based on who you are. Like, well, yes, I do agree that people like the parts of drag that don't necessarily get the attention that they deserve. Should they be put in shows? Yes, to get them out there and everything like that. Yes. And is it going to be everybody's cup of tea? No. But I think the biggest thing is like, you shouldn't be only like, I've seen people like, oh well, we're only going to cast trans queens, and it's like, because they deserve this more than you. And it's like, no, we all work just as hard.
Right.
Or like, we're not going to cast bio queens because they don't work as hard. It's like, no, we all work just as hard. We all spend just as much money. We all do just as much shit. And like,
and somebody who does both drag king and bio queen, we work so hard.
Yeah, I want to break that stigma of women doing drag, women being a drag queen or dressing as a drag queen. They have it so much easier. They don't have to reshape their face. That is complete bullshit.
Yeah. No, they do just as much work.
I'm sorry.
They do just as much work. Like,
if you've seen like Creme Fatale or Venus Envy, hello. If you've seen Landon Cider, wait, no, that's female. I'm sorry. But that's the thing, like, they are just as valid. They do just as much work. In fact, if I'm being frank, they might be doing more because they have to look like a man dressing like a woman.
Right. Yeah. I've got friends and drag siblings that are bio queens. They put in so much work.
That was the beam.
That's the tour of Daji's apartment.
This is my house, bitch. I'm a homeowner.
Okay, house. I'm sorry. I'm in an apartment. I just automatically go to apartment these days. But no, like, and that's the thing, like, or like that people saying that drag kings don't do as much work. Like, they're legitimately taking boobs and shoving them into their chest.
Yeah,
like, albeit when I talk, yeah, does that hurt and is that a lot of work? But drag kings like take their boobs and shove them into their chest, and that's just as painful.
I've heard of them like putting it into their armpits.
Yeah, that's where mine are right now.
And that can actually do, that can sometimes, if you're not careful, actually do physical damage too.
Right. Like
you have to be
figure
careful.
out a way to properly do it so you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, and here's the thing, sometimes because of how like stigmatized some stuff is, or even sometimes because just because of how people are, like a lot of times people won't learn how to tuck or to bind properly, and then they'll end up hurting themselves. And it's like, no, like if you don't know what you're doing, get help. Like,
absolutely.
And like, especially because like, I mean, I don't use tape to tuck. I have a different way of tucking, which works for me, but that doesn't work for everybody. And I know a lot of older queens that like still use the tape to tuck, and that's great. But I tried to use tape to tuck one time, and it ended up badly. That's why I won't use tape to tuck. Like, I actually hurt myself.
Right.
Like,
I got bruised. The first time I ever tried to tuck, I bruised myself down there. I have never tucked since, and that's kind of what I'm going with. I don't shave anything except my face. I don't tuck. Like,
yeah, and that's your brand of drag, and it works for you, so go with it. Like me, I prefer to shave just because that's who I am. I prefer the alter, like, kind of femininity look, but I'm also like very androgynous as it is. So like, in some ways I don't have to do a lot of work with some contouring, but in other ways I do, because I have to make it look like I'm like ruggedly man trying to be a woman.
Yep.
Because I'm very androgynous, and then also sometimes too, like, because I'm gender fluid, like sometimes I do that in my daily life too, and it's like I just, it's harder sometimes. But like with tucking, like I actually like physically hurt myself when I use tape. So like I don't do tape anymore. Like I have like sets of contour underwear and underwear like that, and then like and stuff like that, and I have a way of doing it for myself that works. The only problem I have with it is like if I haven't done it in a while, like I get severely nauseous because like you're literally shoving stuff where it's not meant to go. Like
sometimes it really hurts.
Yeah, like it like me, like when I haven't talked in a while, I like and like even sometimes as short a time as a couple weeks, if I haven't talked, like I'll get like severely nauseous when I try to talk for a little bit. Like for like the first hour, I will be like severely nauseous, but then I like try to not throw up because like I have a full face of makeup on and I'm not trying to ruin this and redo it all last second before a show. Because a lot of times I won't talk till I get to the venue because like I ain't driving like that. Fuck it. I unhook before I leave. Like I do not know. I used to. There was a brief time period when I first started when I used to drive to events fully tucked and cinched and everything, and drive home like that. And I learned my lesson. Like I almost broke a rib.
I would get
that stupid Walmart.
Oh yeah.
And I also like something I will say is never ever get one of those Walmart corsets. Don't waste your money on it. Spend the extra like $100-$300 on a good corset if you're gonna wear a corset. Don't wear the Walmart corsets because I actually almost broke a rib driving wearing one of those because it folded over and it pressed up. Yes. And I couldn't breathe. Like I had to pull over and like basically undress in my car and pull it off of me because like it almost broke a rib.
Yeah.
Like drag can be dangerous. Like, if you don't know what you're doing or you're not careful, and that was when I first started out. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're not careful. Like definitely, like don't like if you're driving, don't be cinched, don't be tucked.
Yep.
Unless you actually are more comfortable that way, or if you're like practiced with that, that's fine. But I recommend not being cinched and not being tucked because you can physically injure yourself. You could cause a wreck. Like you could break a rib. Like it's not fun.
I don't even drive tape down.
Yeah.
Like, I will wait till I get to wherever I'm going.
And that's the thing, and like especially with those people that do like the death drops and stuff. Like I'll do drops occasionally, but not like a death drop. But like people forget how dangerous that is. People forget the fact that they're also wearing all these corsets and cinchers, and like There has been one time where I was at a pageant and I almost passed out.
Yeah.
And that was during talent portion because I had practiced with only 2 corsets on, like 2 of the Walmart corsets on, and I was wearing a third. For whatever reason, not of, because I wasn't thinking and I was wearing a third and I hadn't practiced, and it was a little bit tighter than I thought it was going to be, and like my breath control was fine for the 2 corsets, but not for the 3, and I legitimately almost passed out by the end of the song, and like I basically almost fell into my friend's arm, and she had to carry me backstage and get me undressed and like pull all my corsets off because I couldn't breathe.
They really suck. I hate getting stuff at Walmart.
Yeah, well, like, okay, so, like, something I found that works better at Walmart anyways, it works better than the Walmart corsets. It doesn't necessarily do as good as a regular corset, which does feel amazing, to be honest with you. Like, the expensive corsets, they do feel amazing, for me personally. But like, I've found that, like, the stretch fabric corsets, like, that don't have the boning in them at all, they're just, like, fabric. Those work really great for me, and that's actually, and also they don't have those lines that like the plastic boned or metal boned corsets will have, and it looks more natural. And like that's what I use. I use a combination of control top tights, control top like underwear tight thingies that only go down to like right above my knee, and then I use like a it's like a waist cincher, but it's only fabric. It's only stretch fabric, and that's how I get that like my look. Which I've been asked sometimes if I'm biologically female when I'm wearing all that stuff and my hip pads and everything. I've been asked if I'm biologically female or if I'm trans, and it's like, no, I'm neither of those things. Which now obviously I've discovered. Not discovered. I'm more open about the fact that I am gender fluid, but like at the time I wasn't comfortable with that yet and stuff. But no, I was getting these questions, and it's like no, I just know how to like cinch properly without hurting myself now. And with the stretch fabric ones, I feel comfortable eating in drag if I need to, because I'm not afraid that I'm gonna like have this thing fold over mid number and like suffocate me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like this stuff is like it's definitely interesting because like it's one of those things where you never know what you're really getting into until you actually go on and perform with stuff. Like, because the performance is way different than practicing. Like, I'm trying to find some more stuff for us to talk about. I'm on like pinknews.com and stuff like that. Apparently, Ansel Elgort shared a nude, saying he had an OnlyFans with the link in bio. And I guess when you pressed the link, it was actually for a GoFundMe to help fund healthcare workers, or help fund stuff for healthcare workers. And I'm like, that's being a thought for Jesus. Like right there. That's being a thought for Jesus. Like he straight up showed the world his dick for the first time ever.
Who?
Ansel Elgort. Here. Let me pull up his IMDb to like figure out to show you or tell you what movies he's been in and stuff. So because he's been in some pretty big ones. Okay, so he's been in The Fault in Our Stars. He was one of the main characters on Fault in Our Stars. He was in Baby Driver. He was in Divergent, The Goldfinch, Insurgent, Younger Criminals, West Side Story, Billionaire Boys Club, 2013's Carrie, Paper Towns, Men, Women, and Children, Divergent, Jonathan. If I remember in Divergent, or in Allegiant, in the Divergent series, he was the brother.
I've never seen it.
I don't know who that person is.
Well, he's very attractive, and he shared his peen to help out people who get PPE that needed it. So,
that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know the names, and I lost another one. I don't know where that one went.
No, wait, there you go. That one.
Yeah, that guy. We can't really see it, but yes, that guy.
I'm really bad at like holding.
Wait, he almost looks like Liam Neeson.
Hi, Nikki.
Again, I don't have my glasses, so.
Yeah, no, he shared his penis for Jesus. Well, not for Jesus, but for healthcare workers.
What? My fiance
not-
picked it up. Yeah, show me.
Let me see if I can. I'm really bad at like showing pictures over computers, but
No, that's okay. It's just like a little pixely.
Eh.
I
that
don't know
guy.
who that is. But then
Alright.
I'm like, I'm sheltered.
That's okay.
I don't know. A Fault in Our Stars. I saw it once. but
Yeah,
it
he was.
a long time ago.
Yeah, well, no, he was the boy in that movie, like the main boy.
Okay.
No spoilers, but you know who I'm talking about.
No cap. Do we have any more comments? How many people are watching?
We have
There's
4
like
people watching. We have a heart. One of those is probably still Trip. Nikki is watching. She said hi. I miss all of you. Hi, Nikki. How are you doing? We've had people come in and out. Somebody just liked us. We got a heart.
Asked questions or anything?
Nikki, do you have any questions for us? Anybody else who's watching? We have 6 people watching now. 2 of those are probably Trip.
I'm sorry. Because I have
no.
see,
No. Yeah, one of those is
drag
me.
queen.
And there's only 5 of us.
But no, so
Who is Nikki?
Nikki
she
Tutori.
is a one of our regulars that comes to Tantalizing Thursdays as well as the Diva Den in Astoria, Ohio. Shameless plug. She's a sweetheart.
You should make Levi watch this.
We should I should try, but
I'm just gonna tag him.
Yeah, just tag him. He'll join us. He'll talk to us.
No comment. Just tag his name in the comments.
I'm gonna go to ParisHilton.com because that's a thing that he posts a lot of shit.
I literally have 2 dresses that I never picked up from Porcelain, and they're still at Porcelain's house.
Honestly, I want to get back in contact with her. I haven't talked to her since I was doing Drag Last.
I haven't talked to her in a couple weeks. I haven't talked to her since the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh,
Yeah,
like 3 years.
She's like, I don't know. I think she's doing okay. I haven't really talked to her either. I just kind of see like
I haven't really talked to her since her boyfriend's birthday, but that's more so just because I'm busy, or I've been busy. That's why, I told y'all I was gonna give you the link for this last night, and then I ended up not doing it until after I got out of work today because I ended up just passing out. Like, it is working a lot better though than all the other ways we've done this.
I mean, like yesterday, I had like a migraine and couldn't really see anything. So,
This can be a staple.
Like literally yesterday, I slept all day because of the migraine. It was great.
I wish I could sleep all day.
So has anybody heard anything on Betty White?
No, I'm pretty sure she's fine though. Like,
she's never.
Oh, something that we can talk about too that goes back to the beginning of this, and I know it's kind of elephant in the room, and but Nikki says hi, Da Ji. So hi. 7 employees at Firelands Counseling and Recovery were tested positive for corona. And that's the thing is they serve a lot of people in this community the community where I'm at, and that puts a lot of people at risk. And like, I guess they've been from a friend that goes there, they've been calling around and like asking people if they've had certain symptoms and stuff. And it's like, if you, I honestly feel, because they haven't released who it was for health reasons or for like privacy reasons, but like if you go to Firelands Counseling and Recovery, you need to go get tested. Like, stop going to work, go get tested until you have a negative result, because you should be already in isolation and quarantine if you've been there in the last like 2 weeks to a month, because if 7 employees have it, that means that somebody had it prior to that, and they might not have it anymore, but that means that somebody went either somebody who was seeking counseling services or somebody who was working there went to work sick.
Right.
and that put a lot of people at risk, and that's not okay.
I don't understand the whole like go to work sick mentality.
I mean, I kind of do, because it's more so based on peer pressure, more so based on if you don't go to work because you're sick, you don't get money, and you need money to survive, and you can't afford to be sick, especially with how the economy's set up.
Yeah.
Also, I love this angle. It makes me look so hot. It makes me look like a 90s MILF.
Where?
What do you mean, bitch? Where?
I'm looking at
I'm looking like Posh Spice after she had 3 kids.
I am looking like me if he had reconstructive surgery. Like, you can still see the Steve Buscemi, but cute.
Girl, you do not look like Steve Buscemi.
Oh my
You look like Lady Godiva if she went pink haired. Like, if Lady Godiva and Morticia Adams had a baby with bubblegum pink hair, you would be it.
Is that a good thing? I don't know, Lady Godiva.
Yes, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Because they're both sexy bitches. You'd be Saturday Adams or something like that.
I'd be Thursday. Thursdays are my birthday.
Thursdays are the days we are thoughts. Sorry, Thursdays. Hey. Aw, thank you, Nikki. But yeah, I'm looking at apparently Betty White is still alive because there's no death notice. But there's no news on Betty White. She's probably quarantined though.
Pink and her son are recovered. I don't know if you saw that.
Wait, they were sick?
The singer Pink and her son, they had coronavirus. They are recovered. They are fine now.
Okay. Anybody hear about Idris Elba or Tom Hanks?
I know they have it. I haven't heard anything about him.
Is he better?
Yes, he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, he's better and home.
Oh, good.
I worried about him.
Yeah.
So has anybody else been seeing all the weird shit that's been going on too? Like, there's been a lot of weird shit going on. Like,
with what? Like
people going in thinking that it's okay to go in Walmart with like a plastic grocery bag over their head.
Oh my god!
People.
How are they alive?
People are
like,
dumb.
Doesn't that suffocate you?
I don't understand it, but that also sums up America.
I mean, I'd rather you go in with a plague doctor mask. Like, at least that's more historically accurate with how we've treated plagues before.
Don't tempt me.
I'm tempting you. And you pick so it didn't happen.
Let me just go to Amazon.
I'm just gonna use a pair of old underwear.
Oh my god.
Finally, the use for the thongs that come with lingerie.
You know what? Those jock straps that are too small for me.
I mean, that's actually perfect. Jock strap and it covers you. Oh, so let's talk about this real quick, because I've noticed a lot of people do not know how to use a fucking face mask. So let's talk about that for a second. The proper way to wear a face mask. It should be covering your fucking nose.
Yeah, or and your mouth
at all times. If you're within 6 feet of people at all, like if you're in the store at all, you should be covered. If you're at work and especially because you don't know if somebody's within 6 feet of you at all times, even though they're supposed to, that sometimes it's just not possible. And you should be wearing that at all times with it covering your nose and your mouth at all times. You should not take it off till you're in your car.
There was a woman at Walmart. She was wearing it just on her nose. Her whole mouth was exposed.
See, that's the opposite of what I usually see. Usually I see this.
I'm like
covering your mouth but not your nose.
I'm sorry that not all of us are mouth breathers, or that some of us are mouth breathers, but like, you're still susceptible, bitch.
Yeah, and even then, it doesn't provide much protection. It just provides a level of protection, a minimal level of protection. Right. But the thing is, and another thing I've noticed too, is people take the mask off frequently, and it's like, when people aren't around, it's like, no, leave the mask on until you're in your car, or if you're in a secluded place, isolated place, that's fine if nobody's been there in a while. But it can stay on surfaces for like up to 2 weeks. Wash your hands, wash your ass, keep that fucking mask on when you're in the store. Don't take it off at all till you're back in your fucking car.
And if you're wearing gloves, don't touch your stuff.
And it doesn't, even if you don't have coronavirus, don't cough into your fucking hand, cough into your fucking elbow, cough into the mask with
I
it
cough into my
covering, but like don't cough into your hand and then like touch stuff. Like no, bitch, no. And if you touch stuff after that, you better as fuck be buying that shit because you better not be putting that back on the shelf and put other people at risk for being sick.
Finding some hand sanitizer to wipe that shit down. It's nasty.
So has anyone else been seeing Ember Holiday Monroe's videos lately, the live videos?
Who?
They've been fucking cracking me up.
Ember.
She's been going on live and having guests, and she's been calling like she created a character named Cheryl, and I'm in fucking love with it because like she just like the last couple nights she's been having me crack the fuck up. Like there was one day I watched the video the next day and like I was on there like commenting and stuff, and it's just like it's so funny like, and then she's had guest stars like Ida who knows things and Gam Gam who's her mother who's a sweetheart, and then Michael the brother, Cheryl's brother, who actually is really attractive, but he's supposedly married to a 97-year-old named Samantha. So it's just she's been doing it for like a week or two now, and it's been cracking me up. Like and it's so funny. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you check it out. Also, TikTok has been I've been addicted to TikTok lately.
I love TikTok.
I've been sharing some of the videos. Like somebody got me addicted to TikTok, and now like the song "Her Name Is Margot" stuck in my head, and like it won't go out of my head. I was singing it at work today because I just could not get it out of my fucking head. And then also the one guy who was like, I shared it on my post, and somebody messaged me about it, and they're like, "You ever just want to be hot with tissues?" And I'm like, "Yes, I know the feeling." Because this is a very attractive guy, and he's like bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. Call me King Arthur, tugging on my sword, and stuff like that. It like he's talking about like how he's just like doing nothing but jacking off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, okay, I understand, like, that shit is funny, but like, there is actual kids on that app. Like, there are.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen a lot of videos where guys will put like a picture that they took of them, and they'll fit it into the video that's like, so you have to pause it to see it. But the thing is, like, A, that is doable, and B, you can also save the video and scroll through it until you see it. And there's pictures of their bulges. Like there's like 12-year-old children on here.
They've been flagging them really bad. Like I think they should like, because it's gonna keep happening no matter what. But it's one of those things where you've gotta realize that that's gonna happen no matter what, and so they should have settings for that too. Like I'm not saying that that's something that people should be doing because it's all about rights. Yeah, there's kids on there, you shouldn't be doing it, but people are gonna do it anyways. And like if you have filters and stuff to prevent kids that are that young seeing anything like that, it would help a lot more than just like flagging things as they come up because those kids have already seen it by that point.
I don't know if you guys have seen Give the Tea, Perez Hilton on TikTok.
Wait, what?
Perez Hilton on TikTok.
No, I haven't.
TikTok.
Yeah, he is on TikTok and he's getting a lot of heat right now. Well, I mean, he's already been getting heat because he's racist and all that shit. But he's on TikTok and he duetted a girl's video. She's underage. She's underage. He duetted a girl's video saying that her video made him hard. Yeah. So there is a lot of people that are giving him shit, but he's so fucking weird and just none of this is phasing him. He's just like, when they comment on his videos, he's like, thanks for giving me a shout out, or thanks for supporting my page, or shit like that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
A lot is wrong with that man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has been wrong with that man for a while.
I know, but the fact that
and nothing's changed.
This kind of, and he is fully convinced. He's telling people, he's like, this isn't a kid's app. This is an adult app. Like, why are kids on here? But like,
well, it's like one TikToker summed it up in a thing, and it's like he's like, I'm just scrolling through here to look at videos of dogs, and then all of a sudden I have this 17-year-old who's over top of me, like fucking me with this dangly chain bullshit, and he's like, the only thing you're fucking is late to class. Get out of here, like, because they're doing it. Like teenagers are doing the sexual TikToks, like the bend over the dangly chains and stuff like that, and the shirtless ones where they're like showing off their bulges and stuff, and it's like, no, that's not okay. That's not okay
either, because you're only doing that so you can get like, you are doing the minimum, showing off your body so you can get clout. I don't respect that. I don't understand that at all. Like there are genuine artists on TikTok that are getting less attention than that. Like I have a TikTok with a few thousand followers because I was doing some witchy videos. A genuine craft, a genuine practice that wasn't getting shit for attention. But then these guys that are showing their bulges and their shirtless torsos, like,
that's well, no. So there's some people that are only doing it because they're doing something legitimate, and the only time they get views is when they're shirtless, and that's fucked up. But that's the only way that they can get views. But in the same instance, they know their audience, and I'm not justifying them being shirtless specifically for that reason. But if they're doing something legitimate or actually working for something, or actually doing something, or actually like dancing their asses off, then that's one thing. But if you're like just standing, I've seen some TikToks where people are just standing there looking, not doing jack shit, not lip syncing the damn video or music or audio, just standing there shirtless so they can show off their bulge, and that's where it's wrong. But like somebody, even like one TikToker that I actually follow, who's actually funny as fuck, a lot of the time, over half of his videos he's shirtless, and he actually did a video where he was both had a shirt on and shirtless, and said it's really messed up that y'all don't like my videos or share my videos when I'm like this, and then jumped and like transitioned to being shirtless. Yeah. But y'all do it all the time when I'm like this.
Yeah.
Like that's messed up. Yeah, and it is. And it's one of those things where he's actually very, very funny. He's actually very, very good at what he does. He's a very, very good dancer. And it's like he has to be shirtless. And like there's some TikTokers that are good dancers and stuff, but they'll go shirtless sometimes because like it's hot, like where they're at. And they're doing all these extensive dance moves, and also some of them just don't read as well with a shirt on. Like some of the body rolls and stuff don't always read as well with like a baggy shirt on or a hoodie on. They've legitimately got sweatpants that say "Stop looking at my dick," right where their dick is, because that's all people were coming in, and that's all people were looking at, because they've got that VPL, because they're big enough to where they've got a VPL through baggy ass sweatpants, and that's fine. But like that, when somebody's clearly uncomfortable with you looking at their dick, that they felt the need to do that, that's when you know there's a problem.
But on the flip side, I feel like people do that so they can avert that attention. That's an attention grabber. There is fine print right there on my bulge. People are going to look at it to read it. That's marketing.
But the person, yeah, it is. But also the person that did it has like hundreds of TikToks before that where it's filled with likes and stuff, and then comments about their bulge and stuff. And like they're wearing like baggy sweatpants, where like a normal person would not have a VPL in that type of underpants. So I mean, not those type of underpants, those type of sweatpants, I should say. And like a lot of their videos are just nothing about people talking about their dick, and they're like after a couple hundred of those videos where people are like that, they finally pulled out those sweatpants and were like, no, like just stop.
If that's the case, then by all means, go do what you got to do.
I mean, there's some people that are clearly doing it for attention, but this person actually like, and it's somebody that I follow because he's actually a really good dancer, and also I'm a hoe.
I mean, that's the case. So be it.
I'm not gonna be. Also, speaking of TikTok, I just saw on this news site from 2 days ago, a TikTok user said he unknowingly recorded a possible home intruder while dancing home alone, and that's scary as fuck. And I actually have the.
Not to sound like a you know, stereotypical person, or like, you know, one of those people that are like,
Oh
oh,
my god.
if
No,
somebody breaks
okay,
into my house, I will shoot them.
Oh, absolutely.
okay, so I can't really let me okay, so let me hold this up to my camera so you guys can see this, but
Let's hope
no,
it's
so
not anything.
if you look back by the stairs, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but right. Okay. No, hold on, let me read it. Okay, it's watch the stairs. Okay, it didn't show it. It didn't read on camera, but okay. So at the top of the stairs in this TikTok, about halfway through, right before he does the slide, a person's face actually like peeks down the stairs, and he was home alone, or so he thought. Like somebody actually broke into his house while he was doing a TikTok and got reported on TikTok. And I guess it scared a bunch of his followers. Like I would be scared of shit too. Like somebody broke into your house while you're doing this video, and could, if you weren't recording, you could have been seriously hurt.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like the moment he saw that, he should have gotten the fuck out of that house. Like that's not okay. Um, like that's scary as shit. And like there's been a lot of scary things happening lately. Like so I actually have a scary story of my own because I was at Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago and I actually found a woman who was dying on the floor. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I legitimately found a woman who I have since found out has passed away. I mean, I was able to keep my social distance. Yeah, I know. I was really beat up about it for a few days. Like I was beating myself up about it. But I found her on the floor. I went to get the cashier. I called 911. Thankfully, there was an RN that was able to do CPR, so I didn't have to because it was putting myself at too much risk to do that because I didn't know if she had anything or anything like that. But she and I actually legitimately got a call from the corporate of the dollar store to get my side of the story and to make sure that like she didn't fall because there was slipping doors or anything like that. But yeah, no, this lady,
right now.
I guess it was like diabetic shock or something, and she just passed out and then hit her head on a shelf. And between the diabetic shock and the blunt force trauma and the blood loss,
She
like
died.
she drowned in her own blood and she died.
That's horrible.
It's terrifying, and having to witness that, and like stuff like that's been happening all over the country right now. Like in Michigan, in my hometown actually, where I'm from originally, this guy shot himself in the government parking lot saying the government was gonna kill us all anyways. Like he had a mental breakdown, was like the government's gonna kill us all, we should just take ourselves out so we don't have to be tortured, and shot himself with a shotgun on top of his car and like blew his head off. And a friend of mine actually, and that was 2 days after I found this woman dying on the floor. And I had to talk to my friend who actually, she wasn't there for when he shot himself, but they were parked right in front of him and saw everything. And
Really fucked up.
And a lot of stuff like that was happening, and it still kind of is, and it's really fucked up. And like so, like it, like I guess my message about it is like if you feel something's going on or you don't feel well, get help now.
Right.
Like,
even if it's
like if you feel even a tickle in your throat, you need to be getting help, or just not going to work. Stay the fuck home. Stay in bed.
It's not just their responsibility. Like, check up on your friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I know. I've been checking up on as many people. Friends or not, friends, frenemies, even sometimes enemies. I've been checking up, which is pretty benevolent because I'm a petty bitch. But even that, I've still been checking. But no, like I've been checking up on people regularly because like this is a scary time. Like check up on everybody and make sure you're okay too.
Right. Like my phone, my DMs, this is gonna sound really cheesy, but like my phone's always on.
Yeah, you like the day I found that lady, like I called you,
right?
And we were talking about it because like I was freaked out. Like I was in a weird place mentally, and Because that's not something you just get over overnight. Like that fucked me up for like a
And
couple
also, it's not something you see every day.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Typically.
I've had quite the life, but even then, it still fucks you up.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
Like-
gonna be right back. I'm gonna go make sure my cat isn't bothering anyone,
okay,
and then drag him in here to bother people with me.
I'm just trying to find some sort of funny news for us to talk about, or something like that. Something like lighthearted. So,
I'm making popcorn shrimp.
ooh, that sounds delicious, actually.
That's some
Speaking of
like
popcorn shrimp, I might just start eating that popcorn that's over here. Because I mean, I have fish sticks, but I kind of want just popcorn. Shrimp does sound really good though. I should go get some.
That's so good.
But no, so did you hear about AJ and the Queen getting canceled?
Yeah, and I heard the reason was because he basically like solved the whole plot in one season, but also fuck RuPaul because tracking.
Yeah. I mean, I won't discredit how much RuPaul has done for the drag community. However, RuPaul has also done some things that have hurt the drag community.
T.
And there's good and bad to everybody. Like, and I won't discredit the good that RuPaul has done because the bad RuPaul has been done, but I will acknowledge both. Like, nobody's perfect, but there was no need to get as far as
Okay.
Absolutely.
But so has anybody been watching Fort Salem? Motherland Fort Salem?
No, I want to. Where is it?
It's on Hulu. They're up to episode 5, so I won't provide any spoilers, but I am in fucking love. It is amazing. Highly recommend it. It's on Freeform, or if you go on Hulu, they have up to episode 5. They so what it is they're airing on Thursdays, I believe. However, on Hulu it is released the next day. Like not that night, but like literally the next day at like 8 a.m. ish. So I'm up to episode 5 and I am fucking in love. Like, albeit there's not as much magic in it as I would like, but that's partially because it doesn't fit with the plot, and then also because they're on a budget and they use quite a bit of their budget already on special effects. So like, and the season is getting so good. I fucking love it. The fact like, and one of the major things and this is kind of a spoiler, but not. One of the major things I love about that show is they basically treat homophobia like it doesn't exist. Okay. They treat Wiccanism or everybody's religion like it's just natural and nobody gives a fuck. There's no real like xenophobia or anything, or there's no real racism. They just ignore racism. The only because in that universe it just doesn't exist. It's basically like the perfect world, but not the perfect world because like. And also because of, I will spoil this part, because of some of the things that happen in the show, they do provide a hotline number that is very important, and it is a trigger warning. So if anybody has a suicide trigger, please make sure that you are careful when you watch that, or you call that hotline immediately after or during, because it's not, I don't want to put anybody on that edge or anything like that, and that's why they have that hotline, because they understand that it is a trigger warning, and the fact that something that is and like the feminism in it is not like overly like shoving their dick down your mouth with feminism, but like it's actually like fairly how feminism should be, not like the crazy Karen like, oh, all men are pigs shit. No, it's like they treat men with respect, but also the women empowerment in it is also very, very good.
But that's
and
the
very
like
constructive.
all men are pigs.
Like I love this show as much as I love Charmed, and I really love Charmed, but it also does stuff differently than Charmed did, and does it in some ways better than what Charmed did with regards to feminism, with regards to like handling like different types of relationships and stuff like that. It's very interesting to watch, and it is a very good show. And I highly recommend it.
I'd love that.
Also, anybody watching Tiger King?
I watched it.
No.
I watched up to episode 3, and I've lost twice, and I've lost brain cells.
I don't
yeah.
know. Like everyone's talking about it. It's just kind of turned me off to it.
Yeah, it's not that good.
It's
The only thing I gathered from it is Joe Exotic somehow got a bunch of guys out of his league, probably because of his run for president and stuff like that. Who knows? I'm not going to discredit it. The one guy actually seems like he really does love Joe. I'm just jealous because some of them men be very attractive.
Do you think Carol Baskins killed her husband?
Yes.
I think Carol Baskins killed her husband, and I think Joe Exotic helped her.
I love it. I love that. I love her.
That, or I think that it's a big conspiracy between the two, because if you notice, the guy that currently runs Joe Zoo and owns Joe Zoo looks legitimately like the husband that supposedly died. So I think either she killed him and Joe helped her, or I think that it was a big conspiracy plot and that he's really alive. It was just a death stunt so that way they could collect stuff. Because they never found a body. They never found evidence of a body. They never found any DNA.
Thank you.
They purposely never tested the meat grinder.
And she made the comment about like sardine oil, which makes me think she totally dipped that man in sardine oil and fed him to tigers.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, here's the thing. If you watch it, Carol Baskins is no better than Joe Exotic. In the beginning, she did, even now, she still kind of does exactly what Joe Exotic does. She just calls it a rescue. And she buys her animals off people that are like abusing them, or like gets them from people that are abusing them, and then treats them well, and that's great. But at the end of the day, she legitimately has either done or is doing exactly what Joe Exotic did.
Right.
Or is doing.
Joe Exotic, since he's in jail, spoiler alert, but not really.
Yeah.
You can write him letters and he'll respond to them.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
And poor Travis Maldonado, he died in a freak accident. He was so attractive.
Poor Travis.
And then Dylan is so attractive, and it's like, come to mommy, but in the same instance, no.
Right.
But no, and nobody in that show is good. All of them are pieces of shit, pretty much. Except for a couple people, but all of them are, for the most part, pieces of shit. And then, Doc Antle is a cult leader.
He's very rapey.
Yeah, he's very rapey. He's definitely pedophilic, and he's a cult leader.
Oh.
I want to know how he has so many wives.
Because it's Stockholm Syndrome, honey. Did you not listen to what Bala said? Or whatever her name is now? Because I can't remember all I caught was the Bala thing. And that wasn't even originally her real name, but it was for a few years because she legally changed her name at his request. But when she first moved there, she was living in a stall with cockroaches, and she would make sandwich and cockroaches there. And it's like, bitch, why didn't you call your daddy and get the fuck out of there then? And she was 17, and he was already trying to stick it in.
You just want the dick in. Oh yeah. No.
And then he has a son with one of the wives.
Yeah, they're just gross.
And I'm assuming it's Rajni. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming it's Rajni. And also, one of them was dressed up like Josie and the Pussycats, and I was not. She looked amazing, but I also was not. Was not.
Honestly, I kind of just assumed that it was kind of like a pit bulls and parolees kind of thing, like them taking him in.
Oh no.
And Carol Baskin's murdering her husband, being problematic, because I love that. I love problematic people. But not all that.
And here's the thing, O.J. Simpson, she got away with it. The juice.
Oh, did you see that tweet? O.J. Simpson he even was like, I think she did it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If anybody knows whether or not she did it, it's him, because he done did it and got away with it. So she.
So back to Punch is texting me, and he's like, I sent him a picture without the hat, and he's like, So, are you gonna shave or what's going on?
Wait, what?
Paxi Punch asked me if I was gonna shave since I took off the hat.
Nah, nah, fam. She got a kiss you, scruff and all.
Right? I was like, nah, I was just tired of the hat.
Just like it's gonna be one of those situations where y'all's scruff is gonna get stuck in each other's scruff and it's gonna be weird. I don't know. I'm just making up shit at this point.
It's just funny.
But yeah, the only thing I gathered is Joe Exotic somehow has the ability to get both very attractive and very unattractive husbands, and also Carol Baskins killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me it didn't happen.
I'm also convinced that like her second husband is gonna die.
Yeah, like the fact that her first husband was like, "I'm in danger," it's like, no, no.
See the post where she was like, "I'm gonna love him for all of his life."
Yeah.
Like, she even said his life, not our lives.
Carol Baskins is creepy as fuck too. Like she seems like a Karen to the extreme.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
It's even worse with the beard. It's just, could you have imagined if it was just pure babyface and Andromeda?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, are you ready to die and be fed to my tigers? They hungry and I ain't got the money to feed them. Oh God, I kind of look like her with shorter hair. Oh God.
Did you break another nail?
No. I went to shut the freezer and it like bent back. Wait, it bent back.
Ow!
Like, the other ones were so easy to pop off, but not that one, I guess. Fuck me.
I'm getting death glared by the cat.
Beyonce for that.
No.
I'm a whore. I'm not a nice person. I really need to be, but I'm not a nice person.
Ow. Stop.
I'm a good person. I'm just not
coming out. I'm sorry. Don't flag me on Facebook.
So I posted this thing on my Facebook a little while ago, and it was like a bunch of mythological creatures, and I said, which one do I give you vibes of? And of course, Tripp put succubus.
I'm not
Like,
wrong.
yes! I had somebody at work actually tell me I give off siren vibes.
What are the options?
Because I sing all the damn time.
What are the options?
It was
Hang on, I'll look for it.
It's like vampire, siren.
I don't feel like scrolling through Scarlett's page. I'll go to mine because I shared it too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, it's werewolf, vampire, succubus, witch, mermaid, pixie, demon, siren, mummy, or ghost.
Which technically a succubus is a demon, so it's just a sex demon.
Substitute one for like a goblin or something.
Why are you gonna say goblin for yourself?
No, for you, bitch.
For me?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Like, once you get to know me, like I'm just I jab. I'm
This is why I love you.
I give off the only vibes I'm giving off is Christmas Karen. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I want to speak to your manager. I need to speak to your manager, ma'am.
No.
The manager is my titty because it keeps wanting to come out.
Okay, titty, free the nips.
Okay, so like,
I really don't, because my videos keep getting flagged for fucking nipples. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not trying to. But like, look, this.
No, you're fine.
Beautiful gown. This beautiful gown.
It looks really pretty on you.
It's a hand-me-down for my grandma, and like it fits my grandma, so I can't button it up.
It looks really good like that, though. Not gonna lie.
So cute.
Hi, Lindsay. I feel bad because everybody keeps saying hi to me, and like only a couple people have said hi to you guys, and I feel really bad.
No one knows me though. Like I'm not mad. No one knows me.
Yeah.
Well, especially like I took a 3-year break from drag, so no one's gonna know me. Period.
Yeah, and fun fact, I've only been doing drag for like 3 years, so like I started right when you quit. Well, took a break.
If I would have been consistent, I would have been doing drag for 6 years. Also, do you like this fan? It's so cute. I got it on Sephora.
It is so cute.
Ooh, that is cute. I love my big red fan, my Thwarp fan. I love it.
I don't have any fans.
Speaking of Big Red, do you know who Big Red is?
As in, like, Bring It On, or?
No, I'm sorry, not Big Red. Red Velvet.
Oh yeah, I know who Red Velvet is.
I live just down the road from the club she hosts somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of know where this. I've been wanting to go to somewhere for their open stage. I mean, before quarantine, like, but I've been wanting to go to somewhere for the open stage. I just have never, like, either I find out about open stage after it or I forget, and it's like. So we do have a question. Jeremy says, "How long have y'all did drag?" Which you just said if you were consistent, it would be 6 years. I've been doing it for 3. Which is funny because my drag birthday is actually like less than a month after my actual birthday. So
I don't god.
After my wedding with my ex.
Hang on, I gotta look up like when I started. Give me a second. I'm not stupid, I'm thinking.
I mean, I'm stupidly thinking, so I don't know why you get all upset for.
I'm just saying in general. ¿Dónde está? No.
I'm being all boy over here. Looking like Karen.
No.
And for those watching, feel free to ask us questions. We will answer them. We will acknowledge you. We will say hi. Don't forget to share that button or share the video. Share the button. Share. It's share, bitch.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get on Facebook to share the link, so I don't think any of my friends on my friends list.
I tagged you in my one thing, and I switched.
That's fine. To be honest, and this is a jab at everyone on my friends list. Legitimately, 99% don't give a shit about my drag or what I do or whether I succeed. So fuck y'all, for real. I hope you see this.
Fuck y'all right in your pussies.
No, literally, like not a single one. I have went live to do makeup and I got one person.
I feel it. I've been there. And like I've had that happen.
Friends.
I want to say 2013, 2014 was when I started.
So
2014 is when I started.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you saying that you've seen me perform at Crowbar when I had like first started doing both.
Who?
You, Da Ji. Because like I had taken a break when Scarlett started.
Yeah.
Or like I was like just about to take a break when Scarlett started.
I was in drag for about 2.5 years, and then depression really took its toll. Mm-hmm. So I sold everything. And that hiatus lasted about 3 years. So yeah. I'm just now getting back into it, like less than a month in. Hopefully it goes well.
Well, when quarantine's over, why don't the 3 of us hit up an open stage?
I would honestly love that.
I feel like that is a very good plan.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that. Also, I did just reshare it again and tagged you both publicly, so that way people be seeing it. Also, it's hot as fuck in my apartment now.
This is really hot. Oh, child, stop being a dumbass.
My oven's getting hot in my kitchen.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting pissed off at my phone because it's not charging, and like I've tried cleaning out the charger port, but it's that stupid USB-C, so it's a lot harder to clean out than a USB. And I'm not liking it. been making me mad. And I'm sad because, like, I want a charged phone, goddammit. Like,
Why don't you let me?
or did I unplug that? No, I didn't unplug that. So I'm gonna, like, reset this up real quick. If you see my cooch, I'm sorry.
I'll give you $1 if I haven't seen it before.
Huh?
I said I'll give you $1 if I haven't seen it before.
I mean, you've seen it before, though. You've performed with me. You know. Listen.
I got ready in the same hotel room as you. I definitely seen it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I also take my clothes off quite frequently when I perform, and my wig and my heels and everything, because a bitch want to be comfortable.
Believe it or not, I'm actually really, really prudish. I don't think a single one of my friends has seen anything.
I have like no filter.
I'm a fake thought.
Okay, so Tripp has not seen like without pads and stuff, but like, cause like I'm like that. But I've had some friends. I mean, albeit I've done stuff with those friends, but I've had some friends that have seen my stuff.
I literally, this is telling. I was at Porcelain and Autumn Knight's house when they still lived in Norwalk, and we were going to this open stage. It was like me, Porcelain, and I'm gonna say this name, and if Porcelain ever watches this, I'm sorry. It was me, Porcelain, and Aislinn.
Aislinn.
And because Autumn, then Soren wasn't there. They had to work, or they had some other, like gig that they had to go to. So it was the three of us, and we were on Facebook Live getting ready. I literally like, I forgot that we were on live. I like went to take off my shirt to go tape down, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute!" And I like ran off to the side where the camera couldn't see me. So
I love that.
It was great. But like I've gotten Porcelain has definitely seen parts of me that people should. Oh yeah, poor Porcelain.
I mean, I'm wearing underwear, so like, I mean, I'm not tucked because fuck that. But I'm wearing underwear. See, we're all like waist up. We're like drag and pretty.
Oh no, I'm in drag even. I'm in jeans.
Ooh, look at that big old cock.
And me and my jeans. Well, because like I went out earlier because like I have this pet bed that I'm trying to donate because like my asshole cat doesn't like it. It's too big for him. So I went to go see with my neighbor who has this dog who literally looks like Snoopy. Aww. So cute. Like the most well-mannered dog. He's partially blind in like one eye and he's completely blind in the other. Sweetheart. I love him to death. I went to see if the dog could use it because it's an orthopedic pet bed. Like, I'm not going to let that go to waste. And he said no. And so I literally just kept the jeans that I wore to, like, run across the street. I was like, I'll just keep them on. It's fine.
Yeah. Thank you for those who are joining us. Feel free to comment. If you do comment, please try to make sure it's on the original post of the live feed. That way we can see it. If not, like it'll send us notifications. We can read it. It's just a little bit more difficult.
I'm gonna get attacked.
If you comment on the original post, we can actually bring it up on the screen and give you a little bit of a shout out. Answer your questions, comments. Like, share, subscribe because this is YouTube. Just kidding.
I have a YouTube.
I mean, I have YouTube too, but I never post on it anymore. I used to post performances, but I stopped recording my performances because I stopped having people to record.
I think the last performance of mine that is posted publicly is, let's see, let's check the house.
Facebook has a video of me in bra and panties.
Fun fact, my Facebook page for Tripp and Andromeda says the House of Spades, which, because that was supposed to be, like, when I broke off from the House of Knights, which is like Porcelain's family, and I went back. I was supposed to have my own, and that was the House of Spades, and I keep trying to change it back, and it won't let me. And I try to make like a Facebook profile for Tripp so I can get rid of this page, and it never lets me create the profile.
Are you still? I hate I hate overhead lighting. Are you still like drag family wise associated with the Knights?
Yes, Porcelain has graciously taken me back as her child.
See, I used to be a Knights, but I am not currently. I exited the drag family, but I was kind of adopted in to begin with because I wasn't one that was born from the Knights.
Right.
I was adopted, and then I just kind of went my own way. I mean,
Yeah,
we're still civil, but like I used to be a Knights, but I'm just not now, just for my own personal reasons.
and even if I wasn't like Porcelain's child, like my drag wife is literally Porcelain's sister, so
Yeah,
I'm in by marriage.
and I mean, even if I like don't go back to being a Knights, I mean, personally speaking, I like being a free agent on my own and not having to worry about uh, representing another drag family.
Yep.
But still, like,
Malcolm Mufasa,
Tripp
knock it
is
off.
dating my drag daughter, so it's kind of
Yeah. So I look
it's still in the family.
right. My last
Mother-in-law now.
here's it right here. My last performance is me with Killian Clutch at Crowbar.
Who's Killian Clutch?
So this was they're no longer my friend. Her real name is Brianna Wyant. And Killian Clutch was supposed to be my drag child, but because I was still really new at drag myself, we decided to give her my last name, but Porcelain was her mother. So we're drag brothers. Killian no longer does drag. Killian is no longer associated with me, or I guess really not.
You also felt no problem adding him.
Well, because like that was one of my best friends. We're not friends anymore because, long story short, my best guy friend, I've known him forever, was engaged to Killian Clutch. They did not end well, and Killian, I tried to be Switzerland, it didn't work. Killian kept lying to me about certain things that had to do with my best friend, and I ended it. I didn't want to deal with it anymore.
I don't blame you for that. So that kind of, I had a similar situation like that. Only a little closer home with the person that was my first drag daughter, who I will not at, but they know who they are. And
I will at somebody. I will fight.
Well, I the only reason I'm not adding them is because it's like a whole year's passed since it happened, and I just honestly drama. They know exactly who the fuck they are. They know exactly who the fuck they did, and I'm still pissed off at them. And even after like my ex and I are together right now, like how they behaved since then,
right?
I booted them out of my drag family when I did, because and I like I give everybody 2 chances. Like I don't let it get to a third. Unless you are extra special in my life, I don't let it get to a third. You get 2 chances to not to fuck up. Especially if you're my drag child. Like I said, I don't force anybody to do anything they're not. And I'm like very clean cut and dry with like the rules like on what I'm not okay with you doing. And one of the things I'm not okay with you doing, rule number 1 is don't be a homewrecker. And the reason that rule exists is because of my first drag daughter. Because the bitch tried to be a homewrecker in my life. In my relationship, tried to homewreck my relationship, and that's not okay. And I've seen other people do that, like try like become somebody's drag kid or like date somebody's kid, like legitimate kid, real kid, to get that person to be their drag parent and just to use their name and to get themselves started, and then kick them to the curb and treat them like shit. And it's not okay. And like that's what happened with my first drag daughter is she tried to be a homewrecker to me and was trying to get with my now ex, and that's when I talked to her. I was like, listen, you and I both know that I'm in a monogamous relationship at this point in time. You and I both know that this is not okay. This is not how we act. This is rule number 1. Like, I'm not okay with this. And I was like, you get one more chance. And after that, we're done. Like, I'm trying to be your friend. I'm trying to be your drag mom because you asked me to be your drag mom. Well, you wanted me as a drag mom. And and that's okay. And like, I want to be your friend and everything. And like, my ex now, but wanted to be your friend. But I'm not okay with this behavior, and I'm not like if this happens again, both he and I are not going to talk to you anymore. Like you're out, you're done. And then less than a week later, tried to do the same shit again, and I'm like, no. Like rule number one, don't be a homewrecker, especially not to your drag family. Like we're supposed to be family, like or at bare minimum friends. Like no, like you don't like have some class. Like I'm not pretending to be your friend to get with your fucking husband or boyfriend. Like, and I'm a hoe. Like I'm legitimately known as a hoe. Like that's my whole shtick is being a fucking slut. And I'm not a homewrecker.
Right.
Like, I don't need to be a homewrecker to like if y'all are in an open relationship, that's one thing. But if y'all are monogamous, I'm like, okay, yeah, your man is attractive, but nope, I instantly am like, nope, friend zoned. Now if y'all break up, I'll wait a gracious period. Like a month or so. Because if you guys aren't back together for like a month or 2 months or whatever, you guys might not be getting back together, and that's fine. But I'm gonna give you guys space because if you guys just broke up or like within that first phase, you guys still might have feelings for each other. You still might be trying to get each other, and I'm not trying to homewreck and try to get in the middle of that. That's a mess. I don't want to deal with that.
Right. Nobody has time for that.
Yeah, and like even if it's just a hookup, like no, we can give that some time because you still dealing with emotions of breaking up. Like you can't enjoy a hookup if you're still stuck on somebody else, whether you want to admit it or not.
Don't want to cut this short, but my food is ready, so I'm gonna get off here, get out of Gage because
it's all right. It's all right. But yeah. Thank you for joining us, Da Ji. Definitely. We will. I'll message you in the group chat. Tripp and I will. So we can do this again. It was fun.
Absolutely, this was so much fun. Oh my god.
And honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I had more fun with this than doing a show because I didn't have to get fully in drag. Like, and I can just like chill and talk, and we can just like gab and.
That's the best. Yeah. That's the best thing.
I mean, even with the last show, I wasn't fully in drag anyway because it was still from up here.
Yeah, I mean, I was fully in drag, but I was also like.
Yeah, but you were like actually performing. I was half-assed performing.
And honestly, like if I'm not performing live, I just kind of. Also, next time, what I think I'll do is we'll post our if people so feel generous to tip us, we'll post that stuff like Cash Apps and Venmos and stuff. I forgot to get that from you guys. So we could. I mean,
You have mine.
I don't know if I still have yours actually, but no. So like I will post those next time we do this. So that way, if people feel inclined to tip us, that they can. But yeah, I definitely want to do this again. And like, if we make this fairly regular, like we could actually make this pretty popular, believe it or not.
Absolutely.
Like, especially because we all kind of like get along and mesh and stuff.
Right.
But I think for next time, I'll actually like look up some topics and stuff other than just like shooting the shit.
Well,
no problem.
I mean, we have fun, but I'll look up some topics to actually like talk about and stuff. I feel like how I'm sitting. I feel Barbara Walters-y.
Barbara Walters, Punk Rock Jesus, and like, Morticia Adams.
Like I feel like a younger Barbara Walters. Alrighty, but thank you for joining us, Da Ji. I'm gonna
thank you so much.
Thank you for the thing, and we will see you next time.
Alrighty, have a good night.
Bye. So it's just you and me, Tripp.
I love her.
I do too. Like she's a sweetheart. Like I
I'm
definitely.
So glad that I introduced you guys.
Yeah, right. I definitely want to do this again too because it was just like it's fun and we were just chilling.
Yeah,
like there's nobody watching right now, but we had a decent like flow in and out of people watching. And
I mean, considering we've been live for almost 3 hours.
Yeah, that's true too. I didn't even realize. Last time I looked at the time, it was like 49 minutes.
I know. I look like because Max a bunch just texted me. She's like, "Are you still like doing this live thing?" I was like, Yeah, she's like, you're a social butterfly tonight. What's going on?
Your sister said hi. Your sister's like, bitch, get on this live with me. And then you're like, well, bitch, can I bring my friend? And I'm like, bitch, yes. And then we're like,
Right.
bitch, yeah, let's do
Right.
this shit. And then I put out the flyer like the night before because we
Right. Did you
But-
see my dad's comment? He was like, Facebook events are a thing. I was like, I can do the iCloud calendar to you, like, if we're really gonna go there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to do Tuesday next week.
That's
But
fine.
we'll talk about the day we can do it.
Yeah, we'll
We'll do
discuss.
that tomorrow night because that way we can set it up a week in advance so I can get the flyer out
Right.
for like tomorrow. So that way we have a week of advertising this
Right.
stuff.
Let me say, let's push decision making to like Saturday because that's when I get my schedule for work.
Okay, we'll push decision making to Saturday, but if we push it to Saturday, then we're not going to be able to do it on a Tuesday anyways because we need a couple days to advertise.
Right. But let's push like decision making till like I get my schedule because I don't know.
That works.
Although I do love where I work and he is very considerate with like if we have to call off or like we request off.
See, I am happy that happens to you. I've worked in some places where they've been considerate, but I've also worked in some places, not currently, but I've worked in some places where they were real assholes about offs and stuff like that. Like, I'm glad that where I work now is not like that.
Right. No shade, but like working at Cedar Fair, it's literally like the worst to call off.
Okay, so working at Cedar Fair, I won't work for Cedar Fair again because because of all the BS that happened the year that I worked at Cedar Point, but also because I legitimately was treated like shit over wanting time off to go to friends' funerals.
Oh yeah.
Because I had 3 friends die the summer that I worked at Cedar Point. All like very tragic, very sudden, like unexpected deaths in Michigan. So the whole state away. And I was, with the exception of for the visitation for one of them, I was not allowed time off for that. At all. Like, I asked them to make sure that was my day off so that way I could go to those funerals, and they did not allow me it. And so I missed out on 3 different friends' funerals, and it hit me pretty hard. Like, the amount of stuff I went through there, it's just ridiculous.
No, it is. I worked for the park for like 2 Halloween weekend seasons. I did Halloween weekends twice, and then I worked at Castaway Bay in the arcade, which technically the arcade's not run by Cedar Fair, though I do have to go to like Cedar Fair HR for other things. It's run by Family Entertainment Group. But I will not work for either of those 2 companies ever again.
Yeah, and I don't blame you because I personally, like, if I was a screamster, oh hey, Daji's back.
I miss being a screamster. I loved it. It's me. Like, I love being a screamster.
See, I feel like I could potentially work there as a screamster, or if I worked in retail. But I will never work foods for Cedar Fair again.
No, God, no. I never even worked foods, but I wouldn't.
Like, okay, so I was told when I was working foods that I was not working as many hours as I was working when I was definitely working them. So my experiences, I started off as I worked there the year Melt opened. Yeah. And I started off as one of the opening supervisors for Melt. Mm-hmm. So, and like I have fast food experience, not casual dining experience, but I still did pretty decent, I feel. It's just the pressure got to me. And then I had a server who, and like I worked there for a couple months at Melt before I had started asking to step down because it was every week. The one supervisor that they let do the schedule was not fair about the schedule. He made sure that he and the other supervisor were off for the whole day every week, the same day. There was 3 of us. There should have never been any reason that all 2 out of the 3 were off for an entire day.
No.
So there was literally a one day each week as a supervisor that I was the only supervisor in the restaurant for both kitchen and front of house because I kind of did both. And then there were several points where I had my job threatened because the supervisor who did the scheduling took the sales tip sheet home, which he wasn't supposed to leave the restaurant, and also took the beer cooler keys home. And then I got threatened because he's like, well, you guys should be communicating and stuff like that. And I'm like, first of all, I just got here just like you did. Second of all, this is where we agreed to put it. This is where we talked about the night before. And he decided to take this home without saying anything to me. And now we're having to call him on his day off.
Right.
Just so we can open. And the thing is like, and I had my job threatened over it, and then it got to a point where I had a server who was on her phone texting her dad, who supposedly worked in HR, while I was running a shift because I wouldn't let people, like, because she asked me to help clean her tables, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Until it got to a point where she was just trying to get me to clean her tables for her so she wouldn't have to do it. She was standing over the corner with her friends. Well, so I put my foot down and was like, no, you go clean your tables. You're able to do this just like everybody else. You go clean your tables.
Right.
You know, if someone's free to help you, that's fine. But you have to help cleaning your tables.
Right. They're your tables.
Expect everybody else to do your job for you. And get tips. And like,
that's conniving.
Like I had to have the host stop seating her for a little bit because she had dirty tables and wasn't cleaning them.
Right.
And so she was trying to get the host, who was training somebody who was brand new, just arrived from Ecuador.
Oh my God.
And she was getting trained. This girl was getting trained. She tried to get the person that was training her to go and clean her tables for her. And I was like, no, she's training somebody.
Wait, leave her alone.
I will help you if you start helping clean your own tables, but I'm not going to do all the work for you. And so she went and got another server, and in the meantime went to the back and got on her phone and texted her daddy, and her dad showed up and started screaming, and then went to the guy above the area manager, who no longer works there because he got fired literally the next year. But so I went in there and I was like, I have been asking to step down for 2 weeks because my blood pressure is too high from this. I've had my job threatened constantly. Like, I'm not okay with this. Like, I've been asking to step down. And then they tried to tell me that I didn't have enough experience as a server to step down as a server. And I'm like, but you expected me to be in charge of like 20 servers. And even the people else said that I was a natural at serving. But so they transferred me out to Midway Market as a cook, which I loved until they transferred one of the original supervisors. Okay, so out of the 3 supervisors from Melt, the one that did the scheduling, he got fired because he overstepped his boundaries like he had been doing, and they finally got sick of his shit. Once I was gone, they realized it was him, not me, and they fired him. And then quite a few servers got fired over a combination of stupid shit and also reasonable shit, because like they weren't bringing up drinks and stuff like that, and that was technically stealing. But then there was 1 or 2 people throughout the park that got fired and arrested over not bringing up a glass of water, which is free. That doesn't make any sense, but that happened. Legitimately happened. But no, so the other supervisor got transferred to my location still as a supervisor, but she got transferred out because they got sick of her crap over there. And she kind of made my life a living hell a little bit occasionally. Like, because there was one day where she and all the cooks, except for the one cook that worked on the steam table, and I, Leroy, he's amazing, he's a sweetheart. But like they were expecting him and me, and then this one guy named Michael, who was from Louisiana, to put away this truck by herself. And I'm like, no, that's not okay. Like, we ended up getting to go home early, and like she tried to write us up over it, but the area supervisor was like, no, like, because we went immediately to her after we clocked out, because she was going to try to write us up, because she told us to go home. She's like, I don't need you guys. I can get help from Chicky and Pete's. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna help put this truck away because I'm not a dick, and then I'm gonna leave. And she's like, okay, whatever. And so I went and clocked out afterwards, and then she like got all mad and was like trying to write us up over it. And I'm like, no, you told me I could leave, and I said I was gonna stay and help the truck. She's like, well, that was earlier. I was like, I said I was gonna stay and help the truck, and then go and then leave. And she said that was okay. And but when I was working at Midway Market, there was plenty of times where I was working from 8 a.m. to midnight with no break. Like, it got so bad that I legitimately in my backpack had snacks and stuff so I could eat during the day because they wouldn't let us go on a break to eat.
Mm.
And like obviously, if I were to eat the food at the restaurant, it'd be stealing, and I could get arrested. And I was not going to do that. So, and I wasn't getting breaks, so like I couldn't go to the bistro and get food, you know. So like I legitimately had to bring food in my backpack to work, like my see-through backpack to work, just so I could eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't pass out or anything. And then I was treated like shit because there was a whole like 2 week period where I had to have off because I had gotten bronchitis so bad that I had constant vertigo for over 2 weeks. Like it was bad. And I was like working 8 a.m. to midnight, like 6 days a week with no break. And like but here's the thing, I would be scheduled from 8 a.m. to like 4 or 8 a.m. to 6. But then when 4 or 6 o'clock came around, they either transferred us to another location or they told us, no, there's no cuts because you're too busy. And it's like, it's not a cut. My shift is over. And that also happened on the 4th of July. Like we all had plans because they had a bunch of people scheduled out at 6. And they're like, well, no, there's no cuts. And it's like, it's not a cut. My shift's over. They're like, no cuts. You have to stay. And it's like,
They tried that when I worked like the front gate, like my first year. Luckily, I was also a screamster, so they couldn't.
yeah. Like screamsters and like a lot of people tried to go to a screamster come Halloween weekends, and they're like, no, you're too important to the restaurant. And then they don't even have Midway Market anymore. But like, I quit partway through Halloween weekends because I finally had enough. Like I was, like there was other stuff going on that I'm not going to talk about, but I finally had enough halfway through Halloween weekends, and I just stopped and quit. I was like, I'm done. Nope, I did my time, you know, and like. And like when I moved back, because I was one of the last 2 people allowed to go over to Cedars, towards the end of the season, and so I lived in Cedars for a little bit, and then I loved it, and it was right by work, and it was nice. And then I moved into a dorm because I started off in an apartment, which was great at first until we got some shitty roommates that just kept trashing the place, which I found out happens quite frequently in the apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched to Cedars, which was really nice, even though being dated, which unfortunately is no longer there. And then I moved back in, but when I moved back in, it was to the dorms, and I got put in the 1600s, which was really nice and was brand new at the time, but it's also all the way in the back, the furthest away from or any parking spots. So I would literally have to go across the entire commons, across the bridge, and then across the parking lot. Because by the time I got out and got done and got in the car and went back to the place, it was like almost 1 a.m. and everybody else was already there, because by the time I was finally able to like get all the cleaning done and get to the car, because I would like, because I was able to park pretty close because I was up there early in the morning, but in the same instance I also was also one of the last people to leave because I was cleaning after the park closed, and then also all the traffic. So so really I was in like how early I had to leave because of people trying to get into the park. I literally, if you include an hour before for travel time before, and that's with living like within 3 miles of the place. When I was living on Commons, like literally I was essentially up from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. with 2 hours worth of travel time because of traffic. And there were some days I had to leave even earlier than 7 a.m. because of all the fucking traffic of people trying to get in the park, and it was ridiculous. And like, but no, so like, I like I like a lot of the people, most of the people I met at Cedar Fair and Cedar Point. I just don't like how I was treated. I don't like how they treated other people. I don't like the hierarchy that's there of, well, this person's been here this many years, so they get to do whatever they want, but somebody who's brand new doesn't get to do jack shit. Or the racism that happened there on all sides. On all sides. Like there's racism, like, and it was always the Americans doing it. It was never the international people were never really racist. It was always people that were from this country. And it's like, okay, well, y'all have some class. Like these people are acting better than you, and they're not even from here.
Yeah, Cedar Fair was literally the worst.
Like, well, that, and there were so many people that like there was a couple cases of rape the year that I worked there that got brushed under the rug.
Yep. Yeah,
And
it happened a lot when I worked there. Even like
somebody that I know actually had a kid as a result of that said action that summer. And like the baby is a sweetheart, but I found out that I actually shared a dorm with that dude for like a week when I moved back in the 1600s. I got moved in with him, and I didn't even realize it was him until after I was gone, because they didn't tell me really any details on who it was or anything like that. And then when I told them who our roommate was, they're like, and the fact that he had a girlfriend, they're like, that's the dude that did that. And I'm like, I was stunned, because I'm like, that's not okay. And to think that I actually like was pretty cool with this dude, only to find out that he did that. He's like, and like people that work at Cedar Point, like especially because there's usually a brawl. Or almost every year there's a brawl. Hold on, I'm sorry, I have to shut the door.
okay.
But there's usually a brawl every year, and it's always between Cleveland people, Detroit people, and what's the other state? Flip people.
Yep.
Because they're always like, my city's the best, my city's the best, and it's like, no. I've been to all cities are pretty much the same.
Yeah, I remember like Halloween weekends. The one year was like my last year. We had this huge fight break out, and it was a bunch of like people from Detroit and like people from Cleveland.
Yeah, well, like there was a huge brawl in 2017. There was a huge brawl in the McDonald's parking lot, and it was all Cedar Point employees from Detroit and Cleveland, and a lot of people got arrested or fired. There was also the bearded girl that I worked with at Midway Market that got arrested for prostitution behind Dairy Queen.
Okay,
she was
that
for $20 on Backpage.
Ooh.
And she got caught fairly quickly, because the one thing to do is not advertise sex right at a place where there's cops next door.
Right. Oh my
And
god.
her hookup just happened to be a cop.
I have like the worst story about like the hotel. Like, so like obviously Cedar Fair is not the cleanest place. Like our hotel, because I worked at Castaway, which is like, you know, what should be their pride and joy, because that's how they act like it is, but it's not. We all know it's breakers.
Yeah.
But like we had this one. It was like maybe like my second year working at Castaway. We had this one guest come in belligerently drunk, and his girlfriend was with him. They were in the arcade. They were having this huge fight, and they came up and they started fighting with me and one other worker. Now at this point, I wasn't the supervisor, so you know I couldn't really do anything. And one of our coworkers, who had like just gotten fired, had come in to like pick up her last check, or she quit. I don't really remember. And she started yelling at these, like the couple that was fighting with us, because you know we were trying to close the arcade. We had to warn them beforehand. Hey, we're closing down. Collect your tickets. And they were screaming at us. And so they went down to the front desk to complain. And we could hear them screaming at the front desk people all the way down at the other end of the hotel. Like, it was so bad that they had to call the Cedar Point cops and the Sandusky cops to get these people out of the hotel.
Yeah, that's not okay.
No, and then they called us, you know, because like they called the hotel, you know, like obviously they have all the extensions, so they called down to the arcade, and we were like, you know, we'll be down there in like 5 minutes. We'll tell you our side of the story when we get down there to drop off the cash to the cash box. And they said, okay. And we got, and like our ex-coworker had got banned from all Cedar Fair properties because of this, and you know, like they had the Cedar Fair cops escorting the couple up to their room to get their stuff because they got tossed out for this fight. So, you know, we give them our side of the story, and they're like, you guys aren't in the wrong. We just have to have it for the cops. And that wasn't the first time that happened, though I do have a weird ghost story for that too.
Yeah.
Like,
but I hate to cut this short, but it is we are going on 3 hours.
3 hours.
So save and it's also after 11.
Right. I'll save the ghost story for later.
save the ghost story because we will open up the next talk show, which I'm not sure we're going to do it yet, but we will
With
open
this
up the next
random
talk
ghost
show
story.
with your ghost story. That sounds like a fun plan.
Perfect.
All right. Bye, baby doll.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.